What was his name?
Yo!
Sabine?
Happy Kansas Day!
Cheers!
Oh, let me Kansas out.
Seaman. What's up, Seaman? Welcome back, dude. Cheers. Cheers, homies.
Oh, shit. You guys are doing this shit. Hey, get a real fucking beer.
I'm working on it. I'm working on this wing.
So welcome to the show, everybody. That's the avocado lime sauce I use.
Tate's going to drink that before the night's done.
Tate's going to take it home and eat it. Just the sauce, nothing else. Happy Kansas Day. Welcome, everybody, for episode 75.
75.
We're going to do Kansas beers, and
Oscar Blues isn't a Kansas beer.
Jason was like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm getting Oscar Blues.
Dude, it was like a hibiscus rosé.
Which is cool. It's all good. It's all good.
Let's do that.
We got one Kansas beer with Kansas in the fucking name. So.
We did. So we got we're doing Kansas Territories Aeroplane Pale Ale, and then we're doing the Oscar Blues Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Rosé.
Guns N' Rosé. Sorry. Oh yeah, I see it right there.
You guys
Josh,
ever watch
yes, I
Catman
have.
on Netflix? I tried.
It's got the
fell asleep.
Dude who used to play Stabler in Law and Order SVU.
What's he do? What's it about? It's that trippy one with the
yeah.
unicorn.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Yeah.
You have to
I've
watch
never
it.
seen that one.
Speaking of shows on Netflix, medieval Korea zombie movie or zombie series Kingdom, fucking awesome, real fucking good.
I've been watching Sex Education,
I've heard a lot of things about that,
and it's pretty funny. It's British. His mom is a sex therapist, and so he is finding out he's in high school and he's not popular at all, but he's finding his niche. In high school,
Bitch.
and so he's starting to develop himself as a sex therapist for all of his fellow high schoolers, and it's pretty funny. He's got his own fucking issues. His best friend's this big gay black guy.
It's documentary on Walt Disney the other night. It was pretty interesting.
that motherfucker
Yo,
was
pop that camera
racist.
Yeah. Pop that camera real quick. I'm doing pour.
Oh yeah! Oh, gotta do it.
Oh yeah! Oh, the fade! Look at that! Oh, there it is. Yeah. Oh,
Still drinking milk stouts.
So
Steven, I have not seen the Ted Bundy one, but I've heard a lot about it, and I'm quite intrigued by it.
Hidden cameras. I watched those. They're fucking crazy.
Sarah's been watching the Ted Bundy thing. She started watching it the other night, and she loves all that shit, and I fucking hate it. That's all she listens to now is podcasts about murder.
Murder.
People are so fucking weird.
Oh no, there it is.
Your
There's
wife
a
loves it
shit-
too.
Shit bird. It looks like the bird. Look,
Weird shit.
Because she had a huge
Shitting on
conversation
my
with
head.
Sarah about just murder and all the murder people and murder things. I'm like, fucking, come on.
Well, and I think
Well, but then again, each their own. Each their own.
the Ted Bundy one kills me because from what I've gained
He had a
from
child in
this-
prison.
Did he? Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that one. But it's the fact that he, like, the dude is really smart. But the biggest part about it is that he literally was sitting here lying in the entire time, like, fabricating what it was. And then at the end, when they finally, like, the guy was like, this is a waste of my time. This is one I signed up for. The whole reason I came here was for you to tell me your story and how it happened. So if you were to be here, like, talking about somebody's life, tell me what happened. And apparently that's when it snapped, and he was like, oh, okay. And so he, like, tries to tell the story about a kid or a guy who it works on for him, but he's literally telling his own life story. So I haven't seen it, but that's how it was explained to me.
What
And
the fuck?
like, crazy motherfucker, dude. He I mean, there's a reason that he is where he is.
Dark web, dude. They have the best originals.
Come on, Facebook. Don't piss me off.
Al Bundy versus Ted Bundy. Go.
Al Bundy,
Al
is,
Bundy beats
in
Ted Bundy with a
jiu-jitsu.
shoe.
Al Bundy it has jiu-jitsu training. He would fucking...
Is that Is that for real?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep. Dude,
That sounds
Facebook,
amazing.
Facebook won't let me share. What the hell?
It hates you.
So, no, talking about...
Even Facebook has hate.
Oh.
It's spreading.
So I gave my wife shit about her murder shows. But then again, last night she's talking to me about something. And I was talking about the game I was playing and explaining to her how I'm adding stats to increase my crit chance and what best in slot items are and things like that. And I'm like, you don't really care, do you? I appreciate that, but on the same note, I don't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate that.
Don't humor me. Let me save my energy.
Fuck this.
No.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Don't let me tell you about ranges and how stat stacking works. I don't know what diminishing returns
What game
are.
you watching? Welcome.
Okay, you might be playing right now.
Yeah?
Might be.
Who
I
are
mean,
they
it's
playing?
Kansas State. Playing Texas.
What's up, Caleb?
Facebook so broken. Did you guys watch what happened on Monday yet?
Yes. I watch that whenever it comes, you know.
You like it?
Just because I like the lady, what's her name? Naomi Rapace.
The one that plays them all?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I
haven't
watched
watched
something
that
else
one.
with her in it the other night.
The girl with the dragon tattoo? She was in the original.
I need to see the new one of that.
Fuck, I don't remember what it was.
There was a movie that I watched the other day. Oh, Black Klansman. I watched that the other day, and I was really torn on it because I know it's based on it's based on a true story about I think it's in the 70s, 60s, 70s during the Civil Rights Movement, and Colorado Springs is where it's set at, and they're trying to hire minority police officers because they're trying to make their image look better, like they care. Well, this is the time where the KKK is starting to rebrand itself, so it's less violence and it's more. I can't think of his David Duke. Yeah, David Duke.
Oh, the old Grand Wizard.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's in charge right now, and he's played by Eric off of that '70s show.
Really?
It's
But I can only remember him, and he plays in Get Shorty.
yeah.
And did you watch that? Where he's an actor and he's gay and he just keeps hiring gay prostitutes.
With the black, yes, the the black white supremacist,
Yeah.
Clayton Bigsby.
Oh man!
If you throw out Chappelle Show, man, I got that down to a T.
You know what somebody showed me the other day? The kind of Chappelle Show skit about Charlie Murphy.
Charlie Murphy,
Eddie Murphy's brother, and Rick James. Oh my
Fuck
god!
yo, couch.
I've never
Charlie
seen
Murphy,
it
one of the
before.
5 fingers say to the face. Slap!
No, but
I wish I had four hands so I could give them titties 4 thumbs down.
he's like on my all white couch. Like no, no. But so the guy gets put into, makes the police force, and he goes undercover, and he's not really being taken serious. He's an undercover agent, and they make him go to a
This guy's white or black?
he's black.
Okay.
And so they make him go to this Black Rights Movement talk, and I can't remember what the guy's name was, but they were afraid that he was spreading evil throughout the African American culture, and that, and like he was a big guy in the Black Panthers, and so he figures out like, wow, they really might be racist because the girl that he's trying to talk to gets pulled over by one of the police officers, and they just get harassed by him. So he's like, fuck this, dude. I'm going to call this guy. And he gets into the KKK. A black guy gets into the KKK.
Wow.
Him and a Jew. The Jew is the guy who plays him whenever they actually meet the Klans members. So it's all about that. And this really happened. And it's fucking hilarious because David Duke at one point is on there. And he's like, well, and he makes a joke like, you think there could ever be a black guy who acted like a white guy and fooled you? And he goes, oh no, man, let me tell you how I know that would never happen, because black people and white people talk completely different. And he's like, really, why would you say that? And the whole time this movie's going on, all I can think about is Chappelle's like white, oh my god, what have we done? and the guy's like, well, because black people like when they say their R's, they say ara. And he's like, you see the guy's face like, really so at the end of it, and not to give it away. I mean, obviously they figure out that, like, but when he's done, and he's like, you know, you said you could never have a black white like get that mixed up. He's like, well, this is me, a black guy who made it into the KKK. Like, gets his fucking card and everything as like he's a member.
You get a card.
Apparently you get a membership card for being in the KKK.
To get you like a discount.
Damn right. Sam's
Tasty
Club.
Freeze.
Tasty Freeze. But yeah, no, like it was. I thought it was gonna be more like whimsical, farcist. But it was funny, but it was really good. And I think Kevin Wilmot, who actually went to KU, and did like a Wilt Chamberlain documentary that my buddy helped out with, was part of it.
I think I've seen some of that.
Sounds cool.
I have been preparing for Game of Thrones by rewatching
God.
all of Game of Thrones.
All of it?
Fuck yeah, dude.
We're back on season 4, so
I'll probably watch the previous season, but not the whole fucking thing.
nope.
I've
Watch
never
it.
watched
Some
the
people.
previous season.
And then once you know some of the things that you know, you can see some of the clues that were like led into it, where they'll talk about something about to happen, and then it'll change to somebody else, and you're like, they do fucking do that. Like, it's pretty good.
It's good. Well, and then I
pretty
rewatched Ragnarok.
It's
gotta be
so
that
fucking-
is-
that's the best.
So good.
It is a wonderful movie.
Oh yeah,
I love it.
honestly
I can't
think
get
that
enough of it.
my
The first
girlfriend hates it
hour?
because I can just literally sit there and just watch Ragnarok. Like there was one week that I watched it like 10 times in a week, and she's like, "Are you fucking watching it again?" I was like, "But it's so good."
The very beginning of that movie is just perfect. Like, it couldn't have been better. And then once they start playing an immigrant song, and he's just fucking whipping that thing around, just beating the shit out of everybody, and flies off. Like, that is the perfect start to a movie like
It
that.
was good.
It was great. That, and from the serious tone that the previous 2 movies were to that, they're like, oh shit, like this is
Thanks for like
super
Jeremy.
light-sided or super lighthearted.
What's up, Will?
It does very, very well.
Oh, and I just fucking love the banter between him and Hulk because like they just work so.
Or even he and Loki.
Oh yeah, like
it's great. You will not touch my hair. Please, sir, don't cut my hair. And then in what Avengers, he gets his haircut. He's like, oh, you see what you're doing here. Trying it out.
I love the Loki. I really like him in that film. The whole play with Matt
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Yeah.
it was like perfect place for
Such a
Matt Damon to
trickster.
be.
Oh man,
Which is great.
I was
He was in
dying.
Deadpool as well. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the hillbillies sitting on the back of the truck, and the other guy was Alan Tudyk. So they were just fucking sitting there, and he comes back, or Josh Brolin comes back. They're just sitting there on the back of the truck.
What scene is the Hillbillies?
Do you not watch? Oh, I'm thinking Deadpool 2. Do you not?
I've seen Deadpool 2.
Okay, so it was right when Cable comes back,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
One of those dudes was.
and Brad
Chris,
Pitt's
your
in
face
that.
is so blurry.
How many cameos?
I don't
It
know.
was fucking great.
You're like a. Oh, there you go. Oh,
Still kind of blurry.
the camera does not like you.
Dang, look at that.
It's like a.
He's autofocus.
No, I always like stuff like that.
I do like when they have great banter back and forth between people, and it always cracks my ass up. Like they do a really good job with it in Deadpool because he's just so fucking ridiculous.
Dude, I cannot listen to that fucking the intro song where he's coloring, sitting on the overpass. What is that hip hop song? I cannot listen to it without thinking about Deadpool from here on out forever.
What is it?
Sing it first, Tate.
Yeah, how's it go?
Do it.
Perform.
Do
No, I
it.
can't do it.
Come on,
I'm
Tate.
thinking.
He's on the spot. He's choking.
Who knows what it is? That's in chat. Anybody?
Anybody?
There you go.
Anybody?
It's in Deadpool 1.
Oh, your wife might know. She just
Hey,
tuned
Teresa.
Ah.
She just joined so she could see this fly new do I got.
That's
Shout
it.
out real quick. Fine Line over
Oh,
on
you went there?
on Crawford,
I need to get mine
DJ.
trimmed up.
Dude, haircut, beard trim, and dude, he went above and beyond with his beard.
Probably
God,
only took like 12 minutes too, huh?
and I was there for probably 45. We were chatting the whole time.
4
Dude,
hours.
and he
4 hours.
took the time to, and then I didn't see.
I guess my shit don't get cut; it just gets shaved.
He kept me away from the mirror, so I couldn't see any of the progress. And I told him basically what I wanted.
Your hair looks so cute.
She said cute, not manly. That's sad.
Yeah. But like so I didn't have any idea what I looked like. Because I walked in with this big kind of like just everywhere beard, sticks out this way, a couple inches, and
I know this shit's getting out.
and then he showed it to me, and I'm like, holy shit, look at me!
I am a
God
beautiful
damn.
butterfly.
I look like I'd be on the set of 300.
Where you're just walking around waiting to kick shit. Just, Sparta! This
Yeah.
is Sparta!
First time ever people in chat are being nice to Tate.
Oh shit! I'm gonna look up the song now.
Hello, Charles. Charles Winters.
I can't remember
What's
which
up,
one
Charlie?
it
What's up, Charlie?
was. I don't know if it was was it the Gwen
Yeah.
Stefani song where
Sounds about
the
that
shit is bananas? I can't
This
remember.
shit
No.
is bananas.
Can't remember.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S.
Go get your chair.
Here I come.
What's the
I
best
know.
beer to enjoy with spaghetti? Trick question.
Oh, was that the song?
Yeah.
Really?
Was it?
What? Salt and pepper?
Yeah, it's gotta be it. Deadpool, Overpass.
I don't think that's it.
No.
What's the
Very
best
good.
beer to enjoy with spaghetti?
Nice Roxbury shit or something.
Wine.
A Rubeus from Founders. It's delicious.
They're not on our...
Oh shit!
We
It's
are not on our
time.
game today.
Yeah, it's Shoop by Salt and Pepper.
Shoop-a-doo.
Oh man, now I just hear that song and I immediately am like it with Deadpool as he's coloring.
With his little headphones too, right?
I don't know if he has headphones on. They won't go with his
It's
outfit.
not.
He has a little boombox.
Boomba. Oh yeah.
Well, and the fact that
Ooh.
Deadpool's aware
This one tastes way different than the first
of
one.
the fact that he's in a film and interacting with his audience, kind of funny.
Dude, 9 to 5 from Dolly Parton in the second one right at the beginning.
Oh.
And he's just fucking slaying people. And it's 9 to 5,
Yep.
what a
Yep.
way to make a living.
Transforming
Oh,
all these songs.
It was great.
I still
Or-
can't get over the fact that.
Papa, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you
Just
want to
me?
build a snowman?
Is it just me? Does that sound really familiar?
It does. It does.
And then
What's-
even
Charlie
when he's dying,
Winters. The best beer to enjoy with spaghetti. I immediately thought of wine. And that would be a Chianti. But as far as beer,
I'd go with the sour.
Rubeus by Founders.
you like the Rubeus?
Oh yeah, Rubeus is really good.
You can never go wrong with a good stout IPA.
You can't go wrong there.
I'm gonna even say the Deschutes fresh squeezed. That's gonna be money. Or wait, bet.
Bet.
So I would have to say the Morning Star that we had from Hydra would be a perfect pairing with that. It is a. Is it a Berliner Weiss or is it? Just
This
a
is
Weiss?
something that has to be available.
A lot of places do a basic sour, so that would be great with it.
Oh, look at this! Look at this shit Chris is getting. He's getting all fancy.
Just
No, what's
fucking
happening?
keep talking.
Kill it.
Oh no!
This
Oh
is
no!
weird. We're
The
watching
birds,
you while
the birds out.
the bird is full blown.
I didn't
like,
even see the birds.
So the
man.
bird shitting
God
on
damn
Will
it.
Come.
sitting on my head.
And gingerly tonguing.
The
Gingerly
will calm.
tonguing, I
Intercom.
It's
Stay
okay.
calm.
I have this guy at work that calls me Nat, and I asked him one day. I was like, "Do you know there's an E on the end of that, right? It's Nate, and he's worked there for a while. Like it's not like he just started." And he goes,
Oh, we said your name's not Nate Han.
"What?" And I was just like, "Never mind. Just call me Nat."
I have a lady at work that to this day calls me Jeremy. I'm like,
It's because Jeremy works in your
we've,
office.
we've worked to get. I've helped
And you have red hair.
15 times.
It's okay. My girlfriend's aunt calls me Joe because for some reason she thought my name was Joe. So
Just went with it.
she was just like, "I'm sorry, I can't remember Nathan. So is it cool if I just call you Joe?" I was like, "You can call me whatever you want as long as you like me."
Well, I called Julie Wendy. Wendy the yard wench. I came up with that. I met her when I was already drunk.
Yeah.
And then I decided that she was Wendy.
Oh fuck! Was that either
Yeah.
my graduation?
Graduation?
Yeah, holy
That
shit!
was where I met her. Never met her before. Like,
Never
Wendy!
met her before. Wendy!
Now she's just Wendy.
I don't remember. I don't know how drunk you guys were at that because I was fucking drunk before people showed up.
I remember you and Jacob. Jacob just telling everybody I'm drunk.
Jane wasn't drunk.
Yeah.
I've been drinking since 1, and I was drinking about 6 beers an hour.
All I remember from that were the goddamn mosquitoes.
Really?
They were next level freaking mosquitoes. We
Oh,
were out
shit,
playing
you had all those
croquet.
tiki torches out there.
Cheers,
and shit.
Blair.
So
How
I'm
you been?
surprised.
What up, Blair?
How's a new job treating you?
Where's he at now?
Where's he at
He's
now?
at Foley's.
What's that?
Out
Really?
there north
They
of town?
work on like the Caterpillar tractors
Yeah.
and shit.
This one out on North Broadway?
Yep.
Over there by Geoprobe?
Right
I
across
had
the
an interview
bridge.
there on Wednesday.
Me too.
No, I really do.
I really do, though.
In Park City?
Ah,
So
nice.
Charles-
Don't tell my
this?
boss.
Welcome.
This one's Wilcomb's choice.
This is.
Are we ready for review yet?
Can you just say
Oh,
welcome?
How do you say welcome?
Welcome to my house.
welcome.
You just said my name.
Welcome to my home.
He literally just said my last name correctly. It was like it was a struggle. Like, there's an E at the end. It's like welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
do I make fun?
Oh
of
shit, we're
your
like
speech
5 minutes
impediment?
late on this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
Yes,
Review
today
the
you
beer.
said
Hey,
stop being
oh,
a freeloader.
oh, there it is.
There was.
Review the beer.
When he's
Now we're
angry.
starting to clip.
When he's angry. he's like-
I'm glad I'm watching audio.
What's up, Kim?
Is it because we don't have the pop filter on? Do we need to put the pop filter on?
God damn it.
No, we're just getting louder.
Alright.
Pop filter's more for like close range,
Mhm.
close and shit.
This one
S's and P's and B's.
is actually intriguing. I am kind of
Oh, you did choose this. I thought Tate chose this.
I'm kind of thrown off by the pale ale because
Oh! Uh-oh. Best by December 6th of 18.
oh, Will.
Damn,
Will.
I'm shouting you out. What is this?
This is
Free 1 next week. Free 2 next
free
week.
two. Where's
I'm
your
keeping all these bottles.
all these bottles?
And there's video
We're
evidence.
gonna drink all of them, enjoy them, and then come
Somebody
to
grab a today's paper and take a picture and throw it in the comments.
Is he still on there? No. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Good.
No, I'm just kind of intrigued because this is not what I expected when I bought the pale ale. It
More
tastes,
hoppy?
yeah.
You expected more.
I expected more hops. It's more like a brown ale almost.
I would. I was gonna say the same thing.
No, but I mean, it doesn't taste bad, but it's just not what I was expecting when I started drinking it. I actually really like it, so that's good.
No, sorry, I was cleaning the taste out so I could drink more.
Which is really good because if it was 2 times in a row, I picked the beer and I rated it the lowest on the show.
Yeah, that porter you gave like a 3.
Oh
or 2.
god, it was funny because then I had
Was
it
it
the next
Death by
week. And I
Disco,
was like,
wasn't it?
yeah, Death by
Okay.
Disco, and then I gave it like a 5 the next week. Still shit.
But you were like 9 extra beers in.
I was loaded by that time.
Because we opened the fridge.
Shut up,
today,
Jason.
and it was-
Give this fucking review. Continue.
No, but there's not really anything that just kind of sticks out about it. But it has a bit of a bitter aftertaste, but it's very, very subtle, so it's not like it kicks you. It doesn't feel like the huge IPA kick at the end. But if someone were to give this to me at the party, I would drink it again. So if someone gave it to me with a 6, yeah, solid.
So you wouldn't buy it again.
I wouldn't go out of my way to buy this.
When there's other options that you like better.
Yes, I would go with a Boulevard Pale Ale before this one.
I can't remember last time I had a Boulevard Pale Ale.
I don't think
I would go with a Dale's Pale Ale. Actually, I would go with
I do like a Dale's.
the PBR Pale Ale before I went with this one.
Did you say that you do Dale's Pale Ale because they've been serving it at Old Chicago?
I had that the other day because it was on my tour.
Almost any time that there's a Dale's as an option, I get it. I like it.
Yeah.
Dale's
It's
is good beer.
You got it at Wild Wings.
That's true. Yeah.
For some reason, it just reminds me of the Old Chub, and I don't know why. And I start to taste that flavor
It's the same
again. And I'm
brewer.
like,
It's the same.
No.
It's the same brewer.
no. Oh, I know.
And probably the name.
Yeah.
Dale's Pale Ale, Old Chub.
Reminds me of Dale from
Dale probably has the
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bobby!
Don't bother. Jason?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, it's me? I will absolutely agree with the assessment that it tastes like a brown ale. That was the very first thing I noticed. I was like, I bet you this has a dark pour, and it doesn't. It's actually a very light pour. It's surprising all the way around. The hoppiness to this is actually in the finish.
You get any grapefruit?
I don't. Are you being serious right now?
No, like I get a little bit. Like it's very mild, but I get a little bit of
Oh
grapefruit.
shit! Let's try this.
Now he's gonna read.
I'm getting like, or feeling like amber-ish.
That's why I thought brown, because I was like, oh, brown ale and amber ale, they're all kind of the same, or at least in the same rate. No, I don't get anything fruity. I mean, I do get like an earthy, a nutty,
With time,
but with
it'll-
time.
With time, it'll subtly overcome
No,
your
well,
palate.
Jason's palate.
It'll
This
subtly
is the same
overtake your
guy who's
palate.
like, I'm gonna chug ranch.
It's crazy that a year
Give me
and
some
a
of that
half,
avocado lime.
year and a half into this show, we haven't had this beer though.
Oh, I don't think so. I think we avoid a lot of the things that are always around.
Right.
So anything
And
that's
Neff's had a-
seasonal.
But still, there's just so many beers.
Neff had a vendetta against Kansas territory for
He-
whatever reason.
He did.
He talked so much shit on them. I think he had a bad experience.
I want to say it was the summer breeze, the lemon shandy
Yeah.
thing that they have in the summer, which isn't really a shandy. So, but it's not that hoppy at all. I would actually be curious to see what the IBUs on this are. I bet it's probably under 50.
30 to 40-ish, I'm guessing.
I would assume, but it does taste like a brown or an amber. It's got that kind of whole taste to it. This is very drinkable. It's not bad at all. I would agree with Nate. Actually, what do you prefer? You prefer Wilcom? You prefer Nathan? Do you
I've gone by
prefer
both
Nate?
my entire life. All through high school, I was Wilcom.
I will agree with Casey Hat that
25
this
IBU.
is, yeah. Oh, then it's
Pretty close.
super low. Okay,
Pretty close.
great.
Great.
But I mean, that would explain a lot why it doesn't finish with a lot of that hoppy flavor. I wouldn't buy this just because it's not a flavor that I seek, but I would never turn this down. Which is what sucks for this is it just isn't in my range of things that I prefer, but it's great. So I guess 6.9, like it's right on that cusp.
You know, it's
great.
it's almost exactly like not flavor wise, but how the Life Coach is as far as like
Oh, yeah.
domestic beers. Like
Mhm.
it's there and it's a great option. But if you're like going to walk up and say, all right, which one am I going to buy? You're probably not going to choose it over another one. But you would still like if that was at a party and someone was like, yeah, you know, I would definitely drink this.
Yeah. Absolutely. But I want to say the cost factors into that too. This does have a standard craft beer cost, which is like $8.99 a six pack.
Yep.
Those are your
Because I'm
friends.
watching that.
Those aren't everybody. So I get a really subtle kind of hint of grapefruit. Apparently I'm the only one who is experiencing that, but maybe I'm just thinking about grapefruits.
Is it because I mentioned grapefruit shandy earlier, and you were looking at that grapefruit IPA?
I was looking at the grapefruit IPA.
Are we going to have a grapefruit IPA next week?
I think so. Well, if we can find it. They didn't have the one we were looking for.
I got to make an early morning drive to Wichita, so
This is really smooth, and I'm kind of surprised by that. I don't really get any hop character from it as far as aroma or flavor that I can distinguish, but some hops do kind of have grapefruit style flavor, so maybe that's what I'm detecting. It's a good beer though. I mean, I do agree that it's not extraordinary in any single facet,
But it's solid.
but it's smooth, it's drinkable, it's enjoyable.
it's actually a perfect beer for the weather too.
It is.
It's making me cold though.
Dude, this would be a good beer with a steak.
Yeah.
I think this would
Big
I'd also drink this with spaghetti, Charlie.
be.
Do you not like green eggs and
I
ham?
was going to say.
You don't like them, Sam I am?
I would have this in a box and with a fox.
I think maybe if I'm just looking, looking for a beer that I haven't had in a while, and I see this, I'll get it. So I would buy it again. It's not going to be my everyday buy. So I'll give it a 7.
I agree with that.
Nice.
My girlfriend's one. Hi,
Wait, that can't be your whole review, can it?
No.
Okay, great.
I was about to say, wow.
I
You really?
agree with.
It's like, fuck all you guys. You talk too much.
It'd be every once in a while if I can't decide what I want, I'll just go with this type thing. I haven't had a ton of Kansas Territory beers. The roller chain kicked ass. I get that every once in a while.
I do too.
I could still see me getting this every once in a while, so I'm kind of interested to see what else they have out there. I think I've had the Time Portal, and it kicks ass too.
Oh, the Time Porter was good. It is a brown ale, though, isn't it? It's a breakfast ale.
That's a breakfast, yeah, something.
Well, I've had the Wind Wagon, which is an IPA, but I don't remember anything about it.
I do get kind of a hoppy or bitter taste along with a mouth-watering beer. So it's not overly dry, but it's not overly just wet either. It's kind of a mixed combination. I think it's kind of an amber-tasting beer. They said brown ale, kind of along the same lines. I'm going to give this an 8. It's solid.
Nice.
Even for being expired, it's still holding up.
Dude, don't trust expiration labels.
Not that I give a shit.
They
So,
all
slide in my DMs.
lie.
But for a pale ale, it's up there for me. It's what it is. It's a pale ale, you know, a little bit of hops and just a solid beer.
It passes the sniff test. It's fine.
So it's not an expiration date. It is a best by date. And the manufacturers actually do that on beer, not because it's going to expire, but because a lot of those ingredients will start to change their flavor profiles. So, I mean, that's something to note with this. I don't think that it's that far out.
And if you're looking to venture out into craft beer a little bit and eventually enjoy an IPA or something, this is a good starting point.
Yeah, I would definitely say that.
And it's Kansas Day, and this is brewed in Washington, Kansas.
Washington, Kansas.
They have a little tap room. I've been there. It's pretty small, pretty humble, but they make pretty good beer.
There's probably a sunflower field out back too.
So, you mentioning starter beer.
Played.
When my mom asked me about IPAs and she was like, what's the difference? I was like, just go to the liquor store, ask them for an IPA, and make sure the IBUs, which stand for International Bitterness Units, are above 80. You'll know what hops taste like. It's a little florally, very much pine.
You intentionally poisoned your mother against IPAs.
IPAs.
You sent her in for an 80 IBU IPA.
No,
Poisoned her.
You
What's up, Tyler?
Tyler, it's in Washington, Kansas, right? Right, we just said that.
Yeah,
Washington, Kansas.
They were thinking about moving to Chapman.
Really?
I think it was Chapman.
Wow.
There was talk about them relocating, but I think that fell through. Whatever it was.
I just can't imagine being...
Washington, I believe, is northwest.
It's on Highway 36. Yeah, so northeast.
Northeast
Yeah.
of here.
Right, it's 10 miles south, like 10 to 15 miles south of Nebraska.
Okay.
I just can't imagine having a big, I'm going to say, factory like that. I mean, it may not be huge, but then just moving on.
So your mother wants an IPA, and you don't have her. You don't say, "Hey, go get the Cloud Chaser. Go get the Cloud Chaser,
No,
the most amazing little milkshake IPA that anybody's gonna love."
It's fucking
No,
delicious.
you say, "Oh, go get an 80 IBU."
Do you want her to be realistic on it and say, hey, I didn't like that. What else do you have? And then be able to show her more subtle flavors? Or do you want to start with a subtle flavor and then try to introduce her later? I'd much rather her understand what it tastes like and then be able to reintroduce it. I mean, it's kind of like whenever you have sushi. Do you go with sushi? Do you go with a California roll first, or do you go with like a
California
something
roll
with like nigiri?
You gotta get your, you gotta dip your toe in.
No,
You gotta just dip it. Be like, ooh, too cold.
No.
Ooh, too hot.
No.
No.
Ooh, I don't like raw fish. Well, then how about you try this? I bet you go like this one instead. It's got, some imitation crab and fucking avocado in it.
We've learned a lot about Jason's personality and how to take any recommendation he provides, and that is disregard them.
Disregard them. Tyler, I think there's less than like 1,000 people there.
In Washington?
Washington.
Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny. All right, next beer. Grab 'em.
Your
Bring it
mom's
on,
watching.
big guy.
What kind of IPA do you recommend to your mom?
For my mom, if there was an IPA,
1,131.
I would start on an Odell. The dancing.
1,100 people.
I guarantee you that's above 65 or 65 IBUs.
It's a juicy, floral, citrusy IPA. It's a juicy IPA. That one, You could do the fresh squeeze.
Ooh, hazy little thing would be bad.
Hazy little thing. That's a great IPA.
Yeah.
Easy drinking.
Sierra Nevada, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, watch out, bud.
What was the one that we had a couple weeks back that was just really good? I mean, it was like 3 weeks ago. Right. 3 weeks ago? Yeah, it would have to be like 3 weeks ago.
IPA.
I know
Yep.
Tate doesn't like raw.
It was a
that's
very
right.
citrus based IPA.
That was the day that we had. We had 2 IPAs.
Probably.
Ooh, excuse
Because
me.
we had the Cloud Chaser,
Oh no, I chose the Cloud Chaser.
and then there was the other one, right? What was the other one?
Oh,
I can look it
we
up.
should know these things.
Yeah, I mean, we are.
Sorry,
It's hard to
I'm
keep track when you
recording
get
that.
drunk every Tuesday.
I know that's. He was talking about this, how shitty of a son I am by not being able to reference my mom to some other, IPAs and stuff. I'm like, by the time I start drinking IPAs, I'm drunk. Like that's just how this works. Oh, that's really.
Was this like the Christmas or the New Year's episode?
Mm-mm.
No, it was the
I mean,
first
it
episode
was, like-
back after.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
I'll record half of this.
Oh,
but I'll get
it was the space camper.
Was
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I don't.
It
think
was the space camper. Everybody loved the space
Cosmic
camper.
IPA.
Cosmic IPA.
I know that was good, but I could have sworn we had something that was like very
We had
limiting.
something after that too.
We had
Trying to
another
get
one.
my wife to drink beers with me. She drinks Miller Time.
Hey.
As long as it's not Miller High Life.
It is an interesting color.
Oh, did
If
you
your wife's
pour
willing to
and
drink
then
Miller
fucking
with you,
No, it was-
on?
she'll,
Well, it
she'll
was
drink
kinda-
pretty much anything
Sorry.
with you.
I was here.
Get her to have a Shiner Bock. There you go. That's
That
a
is-
great starting beer.
This is a very interesting.
Yeah,
color.
Shinerbach or like a
It's like the red, like the rosé.
Fat Tire.
Yep.
Fat Tire could
Off.
be kind of rough.
You think so?
When we didn't we review it and like kind of shit all over it?
No.
Oh, that's almost rosy.
Ooh,
Well, it is a rosé, right?
It is a rosé.
that's interesting.
It does. It actually looks really dark and
Chewy's
pour, like really red.
That's a good pour.
It's like, I can appreciate this. And he's drinking.
He literally licked his lips.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah.
Let me lick that beer off your mouth.
Just have a little bit.
I just licked my ass.
Ew.
He's like, I hear the chew over there.
Mm-hmm. This was your pick, Jason? This rosé? Oh. So it's the Guns N' Roses.
and Rosé. Ale with hibiscus and prickly pear.
Yep. So prickly pear is actually supposed to help with hangovers. So
Only Jason would ever pick this beer.
Pack it in, pack
it's
it
from
out.
Oscar Blues.
Cannot.
Why would you
No,
not pick this?
I don't. How can you? Let's do a poll. How many times have you guys picked a hibiscus or a prickly pear beer? Jason, how many times have you picked a hibiscus or a prickly pear beer?
It's
Not
a
more than
second.
3.
Second hibiscus.
You just gave the dog
It's
just
the
a bite.
third
It's not cool,
because
bro.
the other one was the on cue. It's a hibiscus cucumber.
No shit.
Yep. And
That's
then
right, it was the
the
big
had
one.
the hibiscus boulevard.
The big can,
Yep.
right?
And then this.
Uh,
Fuck you. I'm trying to like hibiscus.
Tyler said Fat Tire was a good beer for him to venture outside the world of Coors, Budweiser, and Pabst.
Yep. I mean, it's great.
Sierra Nevada was the Pale Ale was my first. That and Boulevard was what I really started.
It was
drinking.
the Boulevard Wheat. That was
Yeah, that's
I
a good
fell
one.
in love with the Boulevard Wheat.
That's a good one to
Unfiltered,
start too.
and that got me away from just Bud Light, which is what I was, everybody in high school drank and what I drank.
And like
It's all natty.
you could even try having your wife start out on Miller Time, have her have 2 or 3, and then have a Boulevard Wheat. Like that's almost progressing better than starting off the night with Boulevard Wheat and going, "Oh, I'm sober. I hate this."
And you won't taste the beer flavor after 2 or 3 beers. You'll start to actually taste the flavors.
I mean, it seems like a lot of people like. I mean, it's not necessarily craft beer, but
People are just closed-minded with taste sometimes.
a lot of
including
people-
myself.
like the
we were just talking about Chris.
Yeah. Like, what I have is good enough. Fuck you.
not
Alright,
New Belgium,
catch up
Blue
with that.
Moon. Blue Moon's
Blue
a
Moon.
really common Belgian,
Mm-hmm.
like the white. What is it?
Thanks for the like, Anthony.
White lager.
It's just white.
Okay,
Uh,
that's a really
it's a
common.
Belgian white.
Yeah, with a orange wedge or a Boulevard Wheat with a lime wedge.
I would just be. I mean, and it maybe
Or not
just
lime,
for me.
lemon. Sorry.
that Belgian yeast flavor does have a very harsh contrast to something that you're used to in a beer. So I would be careful with that, just because it does start to venture into a lot of things. And the last thing that you'd want to do is have them try one of that or one of those, and just I hate that. I don't like that at all.
I actually, now that I think about it, I think the Sierra Nevada hazy little thing would be a great starter IPA.
Yeah.
Send your mom for that. Don't send her off with some 80 IBU bitter bomb.
Tate.
Fail.
David said, rules for getting wife into IPAs. Ask what Tate likes.
There are
Is that like WWJD?
God, I hate you, Gavin.
WWTL? What would Tate like?
Actually,
drink.
I mean, the Cloud Catcher, that is a great
Milkshake IPA.
great IPA.
See, I had that last night. It's really good on tap.
Wait, where'd you have it at? Did you have it at Old Chicago?
I did.
Jesus.
Why are you there 5 times a week?
I got
you
4
are there.
different beers there last night. These are all the same story from last night. Are you gonna have like 4
How many
beers?
times have you been there in the last 7 days?
Maybe twice. No,
In the
I've
last
only been
10
there.
days.
I've only twice. Definitely twice. We usually go on Thursdays.
I might have been to Old Chicago twice in my lifetime.
Now, I was just going to say, that is as many times as I've been in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's so many beers on tap.
Tate, favorite ice cream
And they're
of the month?
$3 after 10.
Maybe that's
Boost
actually
tracks,
worth
right?
noting.
Oh, dude.
So
Is it
also,
12-ounce pours or 16
no,
ounce
it's
pours?
the
16 ounce
premium
pours.
collection
Ooh.
Dillon's.
And
$3.
The
for
Kroger
$3.
Premium Collection
$3
Denali,
pints.
and you can
And
get
then
you can
it's
get the
3,
Denali
4,
Moose
4,
Tracks.
How they
$5
gonna-
appetizers.
how they
Or
gonna
cookies and
name-
cream.
So-
After 10?
After 10.
How are they
I
gonna
know
name
what
an
I'm
ice
doing
cream
every day.
after a fucking
So they have the
Suburban?
personal pan pizza.
It's not a Suburban, it's a mountain.
topping
It's a
personal pan
luxury
pizza.
Suburban.
No, the Suburban is named after the mountain.
That's a deal.
They got boneless
It's a
wings for
mountain player. I think
$5.
it's in Alaska.
Like-
Hold on, wait.
I
I don't know why.
It is
Denali
what it
Mountain
is.
Range.
Yeah, it's
chicken
not
nuggets.
even a
They
Suburban.
also
It's a
have like
package.
these garlic parmesan
You have
French
Denali,
fries that are.
uh,
I wasn't a huge fan of the
I don't
sauce,
know.
but
Who cares?
they're like $4.
They have like
Can't go wrong.
Denali's just like a super high-end package in GMC shit.
No, but we were out for our friend Autumn's birthday last night, and she wanted to go to Old Chicago, so we could all have. She hadn't been to the one here in town, so we went and had a good time. She got iced.
What's up, Nagley?
She got iced, and it was fucking hilarious.
She had to drink Smirnoff Ice.
Oh, yeah.
At Old Chicago.
She downed it on me too.
Oh, I'm
That's
pretty
good.
sure if somebody iced me, I'd just smash the bottle on the ground.
Wow, that would just be over dramatic.
But this is the same asshole who, on our very first episode, he was not supposed to choose beer. And then he's like, nope, I'm drinking this. Fuck all you guys. So
Now we buy 2 beers because
Now we buy 2 beers.
Well,
Now
you
we
wanna
do.
read that comment.
Hazy little thing is subtle for sure. 80 IBUs is like throwing it straight into the butthole without any lube.
Thank you.
It will be very shocking to most and damaging.
Permanent damage.
Hey, so how's the weight loss going, guys? Seriously, how have you stuck with it? Sorry if you covered this already. I was on a call. So the weight loss, other than maybe Tate, nobody knows how Tate's doing because he refuses to weigh himself.
He's been playing Fortnite, so that's a negative. We know that.
So what you don't know is we actually got a bunch of appetizers before this, and Tate was like,
I roll through them bitches.
Nate's trying to use reverse psychology on me and get all this delicious food so that I'll eat it. And I ate half of it. Tate ate the other half.
I had one little piece like a mouse.
I abstained.
I ran 3 miles this morning. Burned
4,000
450 calories.
450?
4,000? Jesus.
No, 450.
I was gonna say,
I lost
you have
10
to
pounds and I probably gained back 7 over the weekend. I think the hardest part about it has been the weekends.
The hardest part for me is all the muscle gains I've been getting.
That's what me.
Fortnite does that for you?
Oh, dude.
This
thumbs-
this is games.
You don't even
baby.
want to see my thumbs right
Gains.
now. They are so buffed up.
They
It's
are
crazy.
ripped. They are fucking ripped, bro.
There's 2 ways to build a fence. Build a fence or convince all your neighbors they need to build a fence solo.
Dude, that is the Huckleberry Finn way to do it, isn't that it?
I think I've gained 2 or 2.5 pounds.
I was down to 198 last time I checked, so I'm down
But I
10.
like to think it's muscle mass and not fat.
I will say
I'm pretty sure
though
it is.
that my workouts, I have had a shit ton more energy, and I am in much better shape than I was when this started.
You're fine.
I went through and my buddy Josh, who trains me, was like, "Hey, we're gonna start really working cardio for you because I think you're finally getting back into like workout shape." Because I was slacking there for a long time, and so he was like, "All right, we're gonna try it." In the last two, like, I've dominated those workouts, and it's not like you get a rest anymore. Like, I would sit there and try and talk, and he'd be like, "Nope, next round." Fuck.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. We'll come get to work.
Exactly.
You need to come to jiu-jitsu.
You're here to work out, not fucking talk.
You need to come to jiu-jitsu. We'll test your cardio there.
Oh, it's not up there. Trust me, it's not that.
Fucking brutal.
Oh yeah, I know. I fucking still remember 2 weeks ago wrestling with Tate.
In the kitchen.
It wasn't terrible. Like my lungs were there, but
That was
they're not
actually
anywhere.
that was only 15 seconds.
I know, but they're not anywhere where they need to be to do.
It was like
jits.
3 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Like,
man,
We were doing it for a while.
First time ever at Jits. All right, circle up.
Okay,
Okay,
a whole round.
100 push-ups, 150 sit-ups, and 50 burpees. Okay, I'm about to puke. And now we got to roll? Okay.
Nope.
It's hell, but it works.
So
Sounds
further
awful.
on that, down 20 as of Friday, but I had a real bad weekend, so I'm down like 15 as of this Friday. I ate barbecue, and I ate Mexican food, and I ate an all-you-can-eat brunch.
So you actually
Sunday,
ate
so-
food
Oh, I ate a shitload of food. I ate a shitload
instead of
of
having
food.
coffee and gum.
Yeah,
Monday
I mean,
through Friday.
for like 3 days in a row, multiple times, just had like coffee and gum, and then after that, soup. I mean, soup's my go-to. It fills you up, and it gets out of your system, and it's low calorie and everything else like that.
You just answered your own question, David.
Yeah,
It's
there you go.
Come with coffee.
Yeah. Until I got here this morning, or this evening, the only thing I'd had was gum. And then I had some corn nuts and beer. So,
Jeez.
yes.
So strictly diet.
So, most of the time, one of you mentioned it in the car ride over here. Hey, I don't know how I work in a restaurant, and then I leave, and I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
No, it's because you're busy fucking from the time you get in till the time you leave. And
Everybody
I
gets busy
have
fucking.
no
Dude.
seconds available to myself to do anything.
Oh, dude. That was today.
So-
I didn't realize I didn't have someone to put the truck away, so I received the truck, put the truck away myself. And then we usually have someone who comes in on days today when we don't have a mid, and they like do all the proteins prep for us. Well, I didn't have one of those because I got one last night since it was month end. So it was like, just go. And by 2 o'clock, I was sitting there and I felt like a baby because I was just like, I'm dead, especially after this weekend. I just got my ass kicked all weekend, and I haven't really got to sleep a whole lot.
Weird.
and- yeah.
Jason had corn nuts and Tate had D's nuts.
These nuts! Bang, bang!
Yeah, we're getting bang bang going.
This is
It really wasn't that good. I mean,
Oh, that was pretty good.
these
Anytime
nuts?
you throw in a D's nuts,
Fucking
D's nuts!
I muted
Ah,
them.
got him.
There'll be some reverb.
Will they go high?
God damn
President,
it.
It feels like
30
we're gonna
seconds.
wait on that one.
Yeah, I feel like a fancy.
Wait, 30
It
seconds.
does.
What?
It does.
Oh shit! Before we start doing this, will you grab me another one?
Drinking a cognac.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. I sniffed it.
We ought to do some fancy liquor. I've never had a cognac.
We
I
grabbed
had
me one
cognac
too.
this weekend.
motherfucker.
Oh man, they're not watching.
I counted
Brad's
some
not
cognac.
watching. Charlie's not watching. Justin's not watching. Those guys, all they do all weekend is fucking make cocktails. Jesus Christ! You should see their bar. It's like you really have nothing else to spend your money on.
Fuck's this
Nope.
other beer called?
All they spend their money on is liquor and magic
Guns N'
cards.
Rosé.
Guns and Rosé.
Did I
So-
even get a picture for this beer?
Oh man, It's- those two are
Maybe not.
fucking ridiculous. All they did was cocktails, 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 cocktails. Here's
That was
gin,
last
here's
week.
chartreuse, here's some whiskey, here's some bourbon, here's some brandy. Here's a drink out of this. They
I
have
would
a
die.
countertop mounted citrus squeezer because of how much they fucking use this. The night that we were there, keep in mind there was only the two of them. The two of them and one of their friend. They went through a full bag of lemons, a full bag of limes, a full bag of oranges. I mean, they were just fucking just squeezing this thing down.
My goodness.
You remember Charlie and Justin?
Of course.
They are not big guys at all. I mean, they were just fucking pounding hard liquor all fucking night. And I'm like, oh man. And I was like, you know what? Let me try that. And they make amazing cocktails. They make fucking amazing
They
cocktails.
make it an art form instead of it just making drinks.
That's
Yes.
like a good Manhattan.
Well, I bet you they can make you the best Manhattan you've ever had.
That's pretty dope.
Justin's been venturing out into making his own syrups, and he made my daughter a cinnamon soda, which was soda water with a cinnamon simple syrup that he made. I would buy that shit every day if I could buy it in the store.
So it's
Wow.
just
It was
cinnamon,
fucking
sugar, and
incredible.
water?
Yeah, he does like a 1-to-1 and then like an hour boil with cinnamon sticks.
Ooh,
Yeah,
nice.
It is. Jesus, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was fucking good. I was like, if I could buy this syrup and add it to my coffee in the morning, I would be set.
Not you.
I would be
Trash
set.
beer.
Je ne sais.
Oh man, that was 4th of July.
Dear.
What does per aspera ad astra mean? Jason.
I forget.
Nope.
Jason's the nerd.
Jason's the
I don't
nerd.
care about Kansas history. I'm
What does it
sorry.
say?
Useless knowledge. Jason, go.
No.
Oh, what
Ad
is
astra per aspera.
Yep.
It's damn. I can't
It's
remember.
at the it's at Ad Astra downtown. Let's Google it. Alexa, what does Ad Astra per Aspera mean?
Who asked that? Dave?
Yeah.
To the stars through difficulty.
Yo, Jason, give us your
Is that really it?
through the stars with difficulty.
Through difficulties.
Through Aspera Ad Astra is popular Latin language through hardships to the stars.
Hardship to the stars.
Jason, this is your beer. You have
To the stars through difficulty.
you have 2 minutes.
I have 2 minutes? It's more than I'll ever need.
So basically, challenge yourself to not be a piece of shit. Is our state motto.
Oh. I thought you meant for the 2 minutes I had. I was like, well, goddamn.
No.
That was harsh. That was real harsh.
Ad astra per
How you
aspera.
too, man? God.
In layman's terms.
Don't be a piece of shit, motherfucker. Speaking of pieces of shit.
No, go for it.
I don't know where that was headed, but I'll cheers it.
Oh, no, sorry.
So this is a minor sour flavor to it, which I kind of actually expect out of something like this from Oskar Blues. I just now noticed it says crisp as fuck.
Crisp as Really?
Crisp AF, yeah, sure does. The hibiscus, I believe, is what lends to some of the dry. It's down at the very bottom of your can. It's what leads to.
Oh, gotcha.
I believe the hibiscus is what leads to some of the dryness in the end. That prickly pear gives it a little bit of that sweetness, like right in the middle.
When in doubt, pinky out.
Is that what
does
you're
say
doing?
that.
Does it say that?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes, it
man,
does.
especially with your little snifter glass.
Yeah.
I really like this. I think this is very easily drinkable. It doesn't hit a sour note for me. It doesn't hit an ale note for me, but it doesn't hit a bad note for me either. This is extremely mild all the way around. It's lightly sweet. It's lightly sour. It doesn't have a lot of beer flavor to it. It doesn't have any hoppiness to it whatsoever. I bet you the IBUs on this thing are under 15. I mean, there's nothing to it at all. This is very, very easy to put down, and it's 6% ABV. I mean, this thing is
It'll knock you on your ass.
delicious. It is delicious. I would absolutely buy this again, and this is the kind of beer that I would keep in my fridge to introduce people to. It is, I would say, wonderful, but not in a 38. Holy shit! I'm way wrong there. How in the world is the Kansas Territory one more hoppy than this?
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
It is not a measurement of hops.
No, it's a measurement of bitterness, but I don't taste bitterness with
They're
this.
not
It
mutually
doesn't
exclusive.
finish bitter.
Right.
It doesn't finish
Yeah.
bitter at all for me. This actually finishes. I mean, rosé is generally a bit dry in the end. This doesn't finish dry for me. With that in mind, and my 2 minutes coming up, I'd go with a 7.5. I'll buy this again. It's not something I'd seek out, but I'd buy this again.
He finished right at 2 minutes.
Boom!
Just for you, Tate.
Oh.
Just for you. Would Sarah like it?
I think so.
She'd like this.
She'd like it.
She'd like it.
There you go.
I'm gonna go next just because I decided to.
Please do.
We're all looking at you anyways.
This is very much like a rosé wine in that it's got that sweetness to it. It's not overwhelming.
You like a little bit drier wines, though, too.
I like dry red.
I know it tastes vinegary to me.
I mean, it's like a wine beer hybrid. I mean,
Not like the Rubaeus is. I mean, I mentioned that already this evening, but it is a.
this is less. This is more moderate than the Rubaeus. The Rubaeus is sharper and sweeter.
Oh yes, but not overly sweet, which is weird for that.
Not overly sweet, but this is mellower. It's not as sharp.
Much very much agree.
It's very drinkable. It's not heavy. You could drink several of these, and it would be.
Would this go with spaghetti?
Yes.
Anything goes with spaghetti because spaghetti is a noodle.
I actually think this would be pretty good with spaghetti.
It probably would be. I'm just thinking of the peanut butter chocolate porter thing that he has in there.
Go with spaghetti!
It's crisp. It's got a crisp finish.
Crisp as fuck.
Says so.
Crisp AF.
Ah.
That was a little bit of, this is a rosé ale brewed with hibiscus and prickly pear. But I don't know if you can really call this a beer.
I knew something was coming.
Jason always making us drink this shit.
6%, 38 IBU.
Made of fucking flowers.
I knew it was coming. That this is not a beer.
It's got alcohol in it. Yes. It's in a can. Yes.
It's based on
We should
an
have put this
ale.
through the fizzle.
Yes.
So
It tastes more like wine. This tastes.
Really, you think this tastes like a wine? I don't get any. So wine generally carries very different characteristics. This does have a lot of beer
I
characteristics.
get more of a champagne flavor, and that's what my
I can
review
see
is
that.
headed.
Okay, I see
that,
what.
that carbonation.
Yeah, I totally
fizzy.
agree, Chris. Jason, you couldn't be more off the left field.
I couldn't be more wrong by buying a beer in a beer section at a store that sells beer from a company that brews only beer, but no.
So the line,
not a beer.
with all these beers that people are doing,
I'm sorry, it's not an IPA.
the lines are becoming gray. Well, you can now buy wine in cans. They sell wine in cans, and this is kind of like a wine in a can. I mean, there's nothing that I can find that would necessarily be a detriment or a negative critique to it.
So what is your score?
Everything's nice. I mean, it tastes good.
What do you,
I just can't say that it's
I
a
actually
beer.
like you like it.
What do you
I
rate
do
it?
like it. I enjoy it.
what do you rate it?
So the carbonation doesn't lend itself to wine. I mean,
taste,
that's,
it gets a 9. As a beer, it gets a 1.5.
1.5.
So
that averages to a 6.
there is sparkling wine.
There are
like
sparkling-
champagne.
No, sparkling wine is champagne. Sparkling wine does not exist.
The controversy.
Your ad for Fraser Motors was not approved.
Sarah, I think you would like it. I believe it's good. I will give this a 7 as well.
Oh,
It's good. It's so far from what anybody who grew up drinking beer thinks of as being a beer.
oh, absolutely. But
If
that's
this
the
was-
whole craft beer movement.
If we were going to rate this as a political movement, it would be a left-wing beer. A left-wing beer.
Really? I don't know. I think of, oh man, that's really hard.
It is
I
straight to
think-
the core.
I always think of Tate as left, but I could see him
Not-
being the most right of the left people.
That is it. I find the extreme left more distasteful than the extreme right. They're crazy.
We're reviewing
They
beer
are
right now. Y'all
fucking
can get political
crazy.
in about 10 minutes.
These civil justice warriors.
I
God.
made it
Hate 'em.
social.
Whatever.
This,
All right,
I don't even
Chris, it's
fucking
your
care.
turn.
this beer its name is badass. Its can's pretty badass.
It's got the 80s neon.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's almost like the champagne of beers. Fuck Miller High Life. Like
Yeah.
this is way more of a champagne of beers than Miller High Life. They shouldn't
I
even
would
get that
definitely agree
slogan.
with that.
There's no way. It does kind of taste like wine, a little bit of a rosé, dry wine or whatever. Not like some Zinfandel or anything. It's definitely drinkable. It's a summer beer, I think. Like
Ooh,
poolside
I
type.
think this would be great for River Festival.
Yeah. Any hot weather, humidity, this is probably a go-to for me.
You know, like my wife makes what she calls summer brew.
Yep.
Where she
Shit, I bet you this would.
where she combines a bunch of shit with vodka and some other things, and like
She's usually like a 30-pack of beer.
that
and
would
a handle,
that would be a good addition to
It
summer
also
brew.
almost gives me a introductory Gosa vibe because it feels
Yeah.
salty.
That mild sour. Mild.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, and I get a little bit of salt.
It's like some salts there.
Or maybe it's salted corn nuts. But I don't know.
I don't really have any complaints. I got a sweet tooth, and this kind of hits those notes. I'm gonna give it an 8.5. I'd probably buy it again. It's hella drinkable. I could probably drink a 12-pack of it, even though it'd get pretty sweet after about 6 or 7, I bet. But it's light. You could do it.
So upon first taste, I was very thrown off, and I think it was just because of the aeroplane still.
Don't let the dark can throw you off.
Yeah,
It's
no,
not dark.
It's very light.
Yeah.
it's very light. It's the color is
Regardless
actually
of the
really
color.
cool. Like,
It is a red amber mix.
it is. But yeah, the first drink, I don't know if it was just because I still had the airplane on. She just say give it 3-4 drinks before you making it. And the more that I drink it, the more that I not only appreciate it, but I like it. And you guys have all pretty much hit on every part of it that you can.
So it sucks to go last.
So it sucks to go last and just copy everything that you guys say.
What did we miss though? Anything?
Honestly, I think every perspective of it that you guys have each hit plays a part into it. The only thing that I would say, and I'm going to take one more drink.
Nothing original, like always.
Will come.
Nothing original will come. Fuck.
No, but I do. I really like this. I get the dry sense from it. I get the salty, the sweet.
No, this guy was salty. Look at me.
This guy was salty.
Of all the flavors in the
You're
world,
sweet.
I choose to be salty.
But I said the beer was salty.
But I don't have anything else to expand on it. I would definitely drink this during. I think River Festival is a perfect thing to say. That this would be you're out there in the sun and
The Bros block party.
Brews Bros block party would be perfect for this. This would be one that you take and you throw in the cooler, throw in a slip and slide. Wow, and you're in heaven.
Bounce house.
Bounce house.
That's right.
The block party will be happening again this year.
But yeah, I would give this an 8. I would
As
definitely
long as the show's still
buy this.
live at that point.
In the summer, I would be out there.
Regardless.
Chris just drops a super dark note on it. So
Don't
show
even-
still alive at that
just
point.
pass by
Dun dun
Am I
dun.
the first one to
What'd you
break the seal? Is
I
that
gave it an
what's happening?
Yeah,
Yes, you are.
Holy shit.
7, 8, 5, 8.
Biatch. I think you gave it 5.
Did he? Jason, what'd you give it?
I think you gave it 7.5.
Oh, never mind.
So average of an 8-ish.
It's good though.
Good.
Can't complain.
So I got 2 Fortnite wins on
2
Sunday.
dubs. Shit.
What?
You said so.
Fuck,
God, that
not
dude- That fucking bird kills me.
It's shitting on you, dude.
It literally is shitting on me. Well, now it just looks like its head's coming.
That almost
like
looks
its ass
like a little
coming out
bird
of it.
erection that's sitting on your face. Oh, God. Oh, no. No, it's back further. Up by your ear. A little bit higher. Next one.
Chewy! Jason, hey, you're back.
You stay over there.
This is Jason.
Stay.
For those of you guys saw the hacked episode. Nice beard and everything.
Was Jason the dog in the hack
Jason was
episode?
the dog. You still haven't watched it?
No.
He's never gonna watch it. Never.
Wendy was in it. I was just like, yeah.
Wendy's my wife, by the way. For those that don't know.
I will watch it and laugh hysterically. She doesn't say Wilcom.
True.
What are you guys out here yelling? Who hasn't watched?
So I was diagnosed with a speech impediment young in life, and I had to go through the bullying and the difficulties associated with that for years. I want to just thank you for reinforcing that behavior.
What behavior?
Is this real right now,
Making fun
or
of
is
the way that I say Wilcom.
You're
Shit.
you're so full of shit?
Well, if
That
it makes you
bully
feel
Even
any
if
better,
that story is true, fuck you, Kate.
Bully
You deserve the
behavior.
specialize in bird law. Well, if it makes you feel any better, my dad drives a short bus, so he can give you a ride anytime you need.
Oh. That reminds me of the best insult I've ever heard, which was some guy talking shit on some other dude's mom, and he goes, he's like, I fucked your mom, and the guy's like, my mom's dead, and he's like, then I must smell like a corpse, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. Who does that? Like, it wasn't like a back down at all.
I see you sniffing that bug. Don't you be sniffing that box?
Chill.
You got busted.
Both you motherfuckers. Chill.
He's
You
riling
got
them up.
busted too.
Dirty ass off me. Dirty ass off me.
Jimmy.
God damn it, Todd. You always find a way.
He saw the to-go box and he went nose down in it.
Put that brown eye up in your
Lay
face.
Lay down or get the fuck off.
So you get pink eye.
You know the rules.
Chewy?
So what's on
No.
the agenda?
No.
What's on the bullshit agenda?
Some guy said that in class
bullshit
to another
about?
dude. Jason, when I was like 15 and the guy KO'd him.
That would be amazing.
The mom thing?
Yeah. I loved it. I remember when I heard it, and I laughed so hard, I was literally in tears. I was like, holy shit, you didn't back down at all. You were just like, all in it. Like, nope, doubling down. Fucked your dead mom. Like, it was, oh shit.
He said I dug her up.
So I have
Not
heard somebody who, this happened very recently,
We
where
have
somebody
a
was
new
like,
follower on Twitch, EarthDigger1.
hey,
Hi,
well,
everyone.
The
Welcome
timing
to the
of
show.
Earth Digger.
One of
yes,
the hardest falls
so-
I've ever seen.
My
Which-
goodness.
Ah, Derek!
which is going to be great after this. So it was very recently, actually, within the last month, somebody said, I fucked your mom. They said my mom is dead. He goes, I know, my arms are so sore from digging her up. And I was like, ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. That's great.
So, D-Rock,
Uh,
you should think about coming on the show one night. Tell us about your awesome guitar playing skills. He's one of the twins. That was
okay.
Twins.
You guys were mentioning at the show.
They're in the band.
Inklings.
A few weeks ago?
Inklings, yeah.
Sorry, I'm half.
The
On the
Inklings.
4th,
here.
6th, something.
They're the
Couple weeks
Inklings.
ago.
He's the guitar player. His twin brother works for me and
Derek and Dylan.
plays the bass. Dylan is actually in Little Rock, Arkansas right now, opening a new restaurant. And I'm super salty about it.
Jesus.
I also saw a girl hit a dude in the back of the head when he was drinking from a water fountain. Tooth knockout.
Holy shit.
So, if we want to talk about crazy experiences, this is going to go back. Chris, I don't know if you were there for this, but it was like our junior or senior year of high school. And what our high school looks like now looks absolutely nothing like what it did. Side note, I went and saw High School Musical there on
How long
Thursday.
ago were you there?
I was just there on Thursday.
Okay.
The little theater where we had drama classes was completely redone. That whole back area where we used to have computer lab,
Yeah.
that's a dressing room now. Like all of it's completely that back where the actual auditorium is, and where all like CAD class was.
Yeah,
That's
you went up them steps and shit.
That's not a
And you
CAD
walked
class anymore. That's a open door. Like it's a big giant glass wall that you walk into that has doors. And like Goodwin's class is no longer there. I think the art wing's still there.
I've been wanting to go just check it out.
It's fucking looks really good. The concourse that we used to have is now all offices. It's administration.
I remember.
You guys went to the south?
I think it was Javi.
Central. No, we had windows.
Javi
We had
threw
windows.
somebody through the concourse windows in
Yeah.
a fight. I don't remember who it was though.
And that's what I was getting to. Is we had two girls that got into a fight, and it was like where the concourse was. You would walk into the concourse, and you could either go right or left. If you went left, it went to the basketball gym, and that's where we had PE and everything.
Mm-hmm.
If you went right, it would take you to the hallway, which was
By
the
the
long
library.
hall to go. Yeah, which that's not the library anymore. The library is like where the CAD room was now. They have like a little fucking snack shack right there in that little intersection where the CAD hall was, where you like walk to go to art and stuff.
There's a snack shack in the high school.
There's now, yeah,
Wow.
it's like a coffee shop deal that they have this little. They have like little layback lounge chairs and shit.
They spread their balls out in
They
there?
spread their balls out there.
Going on?
Do they have non-binary bathrooms? I don't know about that one.
There should only
I went to the
be
guys' bathroom.
one bathroom. There should not be sex bathrooms. It should be one. Everybody shares. There's no fucking argument. Everybody uses the same goddamn bathroom. You got to shit in it, and everybody shits. It's fine.
Put one stall in there. Put a lock on it.
But
You're
one
good.
of my
You don't have
best
to worry
friends,
about it.
Brad, is an Apache attack helicopter. How's he going to use the bathroom?
He just goes. and if anybody has a problem, then they can just grow up.
No, but so these two girls are getting in a fight, and I don't know if you remember Janitor Pat, the older guy with the beard.
That sounds like a sitcom. That
You
just
told
sounds
me about
amazing.
him.
So,
You remember Janitor Pat?
so Janitor Pat fucking goes
Ran
in to
into him
break
or
up.
something?
Yeah, but he goes in to break up these two girls from fighting, and he's like laying back like this, like got this girl, and the other girl starts fucking kicking him in the fucking head because he's trying to break this fight up, and I'm like, what the
You're
fuck?
a janitor. You're making minimum wage, and you don't
And
give a shit about anything, anyways.
And you're like 65
bitch
years
is
old,
kicking
and
you in the
you're
head.
just trying to help, like, make sure that nobody
Thank
dies
you,
at
David. I'm
school.
glad you get it.
And
No.
one glory hole. It's simple. But that was it. Was either that or the dude who got punched in the face, had broke his nose, shattered his nose,
Jesus.
and just walked down the hall all the way down, blood pouring out of his nose. There was a blood line all the way down. There was at one point where they actually made all the teachers go out in the hallways because there was a threat of gang violence in our school, where they were, I want to say it was the Folks and the Bloods were beefing. And
There's Bloods in Salina, Kansas.
oh yeah, there's Sir 13. There were dudes straight from Cali that were here. It's
What,
real.
Neff?
Neff, guess what?
Trying to think of my all-white high school in Payson, Arizona,
Teachers
in
get
the middle of
most
fucking nowhere.
people support.
Do
but
that
what
shit.
about
I can't.
the janitors? Damn, dude.
I can't think of that at all. They would have been like, I just remember all of my teachers, every single one of them, did not give a shit about anything. They were like, I get
Mr.
paid.
Wait.
I get paid very.
Motherfucker
Wait,
was
did you
cigarettes
say-
and coffee.
Wait, you
Dude.
said you had a teacher named Mr. Wait?
Mr. Wait.
So my history teacher was named Mr. Wade. He was not even 5 feet tall. He was built just fucking out to here, and that motherfucker benched 330 every morning.
See, ours
50
was
reps. Boom, boom, boom. Pounded it out. And
Ours
his son was 4'11", so he didn't qualify as a midget. He played on our baseball team, and he could run like fucking lightning. And he was built just like his dad. And he just fucking lifted every
That
goddamn
sounds like
day.
a sitcom.
Boom, boom, boom. His name was Billy Waite. Billy fucking Waite.
So our Mr. Waite,
Pop Solo. That's pretty badass.
our Mr. Waite was the English teacher, and he not only taught English, but he taught advanced English, which is what I was
Oh
in.
my god, I never slept in a class so much in my fucking
And
life.
all he would do is sit there with the most monotone voice and talk. And this motherfucker, while you were taking tests, would just sit on the internet and look up useless facts. He was on Jeopardy, and he lost on the last question because he changed his answer. Everybody got to hear this.
Yep.
And you would think that he was a cool teacher from the first day that you go there, because the first day all he talks about is how you could screw the government and how people used to just screw the government over when it came to like property taxes and stuff.
Sure, he could have got that government assistance.
Government assistance. No, but his class was absolutely like, the question was, what is the one city where like the Missouri and the Mississippi join? And there's only one, and he answered it right. And you saw it, he's like, you see where I scratched it out, and then I answered it with the wrong answer, and he lost Jeopardy on Final fucking Jeopardy.
No, I remember Mr. Wade. He was our history teacher, and he would make us. All he would do is take these fucking sheets that he'd had for 1,000 years, and he'd put them on the overhead projector. This is how long ago it was, where it just fucking copied against the wall, and we'd have to copy these notes. And at the time, I lived on my own. I didn't live with my mom or my dad. And he was like, every week, you have to have your notes book signed by your parents. I'm like, fuck! I missed out every fucking week. And so, one of our projects was, you are assigned, you get $100. You have to invest them into penny stocks. And you have to come out with more money than you had. And based on the percentage of money that you have, you get a better grade. Because he was all about stocks. He would always write a big smiley face or a big frowny face based on how his stocks were doing.
You all nervous?
And I invested in this perfume company. This perfume company went from 1 cent a stock to 15 cents a stock. And I pulled all my money out, and it only took 3 days, and I never reinvested it.
And
I got an A in that
if
class.
we don't be careful.
But other than that, man, that motherfucker hated me.
Careful.
He hated me whenever I played football because his son was too short to play football. And I felt so fucking bad.
There's no height requirement for football.
Bad. There's no height requirement, but you expect somebody of a certain height in order to push a certain weight.
Darren Sproles defies all of that.
I don't know that name at all.
Darren Sproles.
So Darren Sproles was probably the top rated running back in Kansas that year. He went to Olathe North.
No, I didn't have hobo parents.
Tate, will you just grab me whatever out of there?
Yeah.
I don't care which one.
How tall is Darren Sproles? 5'6"?
He's 5'8".
That's not 4'11".
Darren Sproles played in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's not 4'11".
Yeah, nobody could tackle the guy because they wouldn't even see him.
They would go right over his head.
They wouldn't see him until he broke past the defensive end.
Yeah, but you also have to realize 4'11". He would have been a great running back if he was fast.
Foot difference.
If he was fast,
that motherfucker would hit the ball and he'd be at second base before you'd even see him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, Jason, you didn't have a 5'6".
5'6"? Oh man, that's actually closer.
Darren Sproles was 5'6".
That's actually fucking closer, man.
He's still in the NFL.
Plays for the Eagles.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is. I don't know if he'll be a Hall of Famer, but
he's great.
He's
good. Great. K-State grad.
He's had like a 15-year.
Plays for the Saints. Played for the Saints. Played for the Eagles.
He's played for everybody. He played for the Chargers, didn't he? Back in the Drew Brees years.
Sounds right. Drew Brees years. What?
Yeah, Drew Brees started with the Chargers.
Really?
Yeah, he got drafted by him.
He
had the giant mole on his face.
My wife's in love with Drew Brees.
Bet she knew that he played for the Chargers.
She made the right choice.
She didn't.
She didn't. Tate, what you pouring?
This is the Guns and Rosé by Oskar Blues in Lyons, Colorado.
I think the NFL Football League would
fuck out of that
crush.
show.
Come on, Netflix.
Oh my god.
No, fuck Netflix. Vince McMahon,
Jesus
make it happen.
Christ, I'd watch that show. I wouldn't miss an episode. Holy crap. Great.
But think about somebody who's 4'11" as a running back. They couldn't. You got
You wouldn't be able to
linemen.
see him.
You got linemen that are 6'11". You wouldn't know where he is.
As long
But
as you can hit a hole and you're
imagine,
fast.
I was going to say, imagine a 6'11" lineman coming at this guy, and he's easily got 200 pounds on him.
Oh,
It would
that's
take
even better.
nothing.
200 pounds at 4'11"? He's
Dude,
fucking
bro.
solid.
It would fucking take nothing in the world.
No, that's a
to just
fucking
put him in the dirt.
Wait, have you not read any? Do you not?
Oh,
What happened to
Jesus.
What about the dwarfs? You think the dwarfs in any
Wait,
Lord
how
of the
many do
Rings?
you see now?
Hold on. Was this guy 200 pounds? He was 4'11", 200 pounds?
No, he was 4'11". He was probably 150. maybe
Okay, that's
You
a
said
little
he was
different.
benching
That's a little
300
different.
pounds.
No, he was. You should have seen this motherfucker.
That dude
He was
would have
ripped
been
so
amazing.
fucking wide.
Was it
It
MSL
was
use smaller
ridiculous.
footballs, or would it be
I
better
mean,
to have
if you would have
larger
seen him,
footballs?
he had legs that
Yes.
dangled off the
Yes.
top of his
Real
body.
thing.
They were nothing.
I don't think it is,
They were
but it would be
straws
awesome if it was.
sticking out of his fucking
I'm
torso.
pinning that comment.
I'm not joking at all. And then he bought, what is it, a Stingray? He bought a Stingray from a junkyard and rebuilt it himself. And he told the story every fucking 2 weeks about how he's buying a new piece from a junkyard because that's where he got all his
What's
pieces.
a stingray?
Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, you're talking. Okay.
I was about to
Yeah.
say,
Not an animal, a car.
not an
So-
animal.
No, he'd always talk about his son. Now his son was doing it. And blah, 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 blah. And just, hey,
I bet you if you taught that 4'11"
see
kid
him
how to
out
stiff
there.
arm, nobody could touch him.
Nobody.
Well, another thing too is like sprawls. You couldn't see the motherfucker behind all the linemen.
That's what we were saying.
So he's
It's
just
like, he's
gone.
perfect.
All of a sudden, we went that
you
way.
see
Shit.
him, but he's already passed.
Yeah,
you.
linebackers are like, oh shit, where is he? Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
Priest Holmes made a fucking killing at it as chief. He's 5 foot.
I suppose I'm the only one that's been following the Tory Lanez beat
Ooh,
with the rest of the hip hop world.
It's Tory Lane.
I know who Tory Lanez is.
Damn it. It's like a mini me DMX that's way more light skinned that's calling every rapper out saying he's the best rapper alive right now. And he
But
God
this happens
damn it.
every 6 months with the new
I know
rapper.
it does, but it's still like interesting.
I
What did
still-
Machine Gun Guy
and it
do?
still gets people going.
I still
quit.
remember when what's
Started
his
acting.
fucking name?
God, he
went
was in
on.
Bird Box and he was horrible.
What? Yeah, he was. He was
MGK?
fucking god
Fucking
awful.
idiot.
But when what's his name went on Sway 45 and said
Shade 45.
Shade 45, yes, not Sway
Sway in the
45.
morning.
Sway in the morning on Shade 45. But
Sorry to derail the midget football league, but
Dude, that's a
People-
great idea.
people fucking love this dude, and he used to
I'd
be. I
watch
feel
the
like
shit
he used to
out
be
of
with Tech, and he's like a skateboarder, but he's kind of a punk.
this way.
No. The guy
This
that
was tight.
did the like threw out and said anybody who challenged him. He threw $1 million challenge down to anybody who wanted to freestyle against him or his people, and he said anybody but Eminem. And it was like, wait, you can't go on Shade 45, which is part owned by Eminem,
Yeah.
and then throw down $1 million fucking challenge and act like you are the best, and then say, oh, anybody but
But the motherfucker
The
putting
owner-
on this radio show.
yeah, the owner of this radio company who's putting this show on. Like, first of all, that made him sound like a bitch, and I know there's a lot of people who really like the guy, and I can't think of his name right now. But then they came out, and these people, it was not Stick Figure.
It'll be okay, Dave.
But it was this group's like, it is a little brother, like all of his little brothers were in a group, and they were like, all right, fine, fuck you, we're gonna come out and do it. And they came out and fucking murdered him in a freestyle with them, like a song. And it was like, I don't think the money ever went out. That's why that shit kills me, because stuff like that happens all the time in the
They
hip hop
do it
community.
all for publicity.
All for publicity.
But
And I get the point.
it's still good for the culture.
It is. There's never a bad time with
How tall
hip hop
is
when
this
there's beef.
motherfucker, by the way,
Tory Lanez, say 5'6".
I'm thinking so too.
5'7".
5'7", yeah. I'll drop kick the fuck out of you,
Ooh,
bro.
speaking of short ass motherfuckers in hip hop, has anybody watched the Firefest documentary? Not just the one
Yes,
on
dude.
Netflix, but the one
I
on
watched the
Hulu.
Netflix one. I watched Hulu yet.
Okay, so there's a bit of a difference
about
between
Ja
the
Rule?
two. Ja Rule.
He's like
Yeah,
5'3".
5'3", motherfucker.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Would you do love me, baby?
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I can't fucking believe this.
He's like the shortest motherfucker in the world with the deepest voice in
You
the
said
world.
throws out $1 Million Challenge video thumbnail made in Microsoft Paint. No, but John. So if you don't know what Firefest
No,
is,
that's a fucked up documentary.
So Firefest was this big festival that was supposed to be thrown. It was supposed to be just for the rich kids.
I was almost crying for the Islanders, dude.
Oh,
my wife was.
Dude, because they're the ones who got fucked out of the whole. So I don't know.
Was this the festival that never happened?
That never. Well, it happened, but it didn't happen. It was a bomb from the beginning.
Shit show that was supposed to be extraordinary.
Yeah. So the whole
Why is this comment pinned? Fuck David and his.
It's an awesome fucking.
More like Liarfest. But it really was like, so this dude
jokes.
who had came out with this credit card, and he was like, he had figured out how to take the strip off of a credit card and put it onto another one, and it would still make it your credit card.
He's a fucking typical sleazeball salesman.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's a glorified salesman. And him and Ja Rule got together because it was Kinesis or whatever it was.
Yeah,
Magnesis. But it was essentially a piece of sheet metal that they turned into their own credit cards. So you could have a credit card that would take the strip from whatever credit card you were using, put it on this sleek black card because that's what everybody wants, is the black card, and it was a sleek Magnesis card, and you could just run your card with it. So it would be like whatever you're worth. So you're essentially paying extra for a credit card. So not only is this a scam to start out with, but it's a scam of all scams. The scammer's making money. It's all good. So they throw this festival, and it's supposed to be in the Bahamas on their own private island that used to be owned by Pablo Escobar. There's a huge festival going on where you can get your own condo, your own whatever they're called, bungalow.
You buy a fucking villa.
Yeah, a villa and all this shit. But
These
the minimum
rich
amount,
kids were spending $50,000.
the minimum amount to go GA was $1,000. You get your own private jet, and the way they were genius at how they marketed it. So they paid. Night, Nev. You have a great one.
Peace, Nev.
Everybody.
Later, Nev.
But the way that they marketed it was they went to all these influencers on Instagram, and they paid
bitches, models,
whatever her name is, the fucking Kardashian. That's not a Kardashian. It's the other name. Jenner. Kylie Jenner. They paid her $250,000
for one Instagram post
to post about this festival. So Fuck Jerry Entertainment, which is like one of the most well-known publicizers of things, made this just straight orange background that said Firefest on it, and is very catchy. If you pay attention to it, would like look and be like, oh my god, yes. And by the way, it's easy to market a lie, man. It doesn't make you smart. It's very true. It doesn't. But the way that he did it and made people like, there was a guy who literally the entire time who's an investor, or not investor for that, but like he did investments for people.
Yeah, we can't ruin the whole goddamn story though.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna watch this.
But the whole point is,
dude that was brilliant and rich about to suck dick just to get a deal for this fucking concert.
Oh, but see, that's not even in. That just came out on the Netflix one.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in the Hulu one.
Yeah.
The Hulu one.
He's like, I was about to suck dude's dick to get $1 million or something. I'm like,
no. It was to spend
and then the guy said, "No, here's your money."
$495,000 in custom taxes.
Oh god, babe.
Or in customs. To get because they had 2 truck trailers full of Evian water, and they wouldn't have water for this festival if they didn't get this in there. And he was about to suck a dude's dick for $495,000 worth of custom font fees to get the water through customs. Like the dude is in.
Yeah, it's for water.
The dude's in trial for $27 million worth of conning people out of money.
There's a guy most people will never know about that did a port forward from 800 numbers to 900 numbers that disconnected and charged people like $100 on a TV ad around the Super Bowl back in the day, made $1 million overnight and fled the country.
And he's a genius.
Yep.
What was the one up upon? Oh, that's the Marcus Alive one.
I was gonna say it's just like line freaking. I mean, that's what they used to do in order to get into lines that they couldn't tap into. That's what the original Captain Crunch is based on. You know that? In the box that used to include a whistle that would let you hack phone calls.
Damn.
Each different whistle would have a different frequency, so it could hack a different number.
Oh. Yeah. Well, and the whole thing is the guy legitimately, if you watch the Hulu version,
said, I don't believe that shit.
because the Hulu version like literally does an interview with the Billy guy who is responsible for this whole thing, and it goes a little farther in deep. And this guy,
I don't know why the locals didn't kill him.
oh, he's banned from the Bahamas. Like it doesn't tell you that on the Netflix version. Yeah, I'll take another one too. But the Netflix version doesn't tell you, but him and Ja Rule are literally banned from the Bahamas.
We've been killing
Ja Rule.
The government. Well, and Ja Rule sits here and tries to play this whole like innocent victim of this whole ordeal. He's like, I was just there as a co-signer. Like, I was the popular guy that was there to help out. And then he gets drunk on this fucking beer drinking show and completely spills the beans about how
it's drunk on a beer drinking show. What blasphemy!
But he completely
asshole.
For next week.
He spills the fucking beans and he's like, "This whole thing was my idea. I was the whole thing behind the entire thing." And after this, Billy guy's going to fucking jail for it. 20 years in jail for it.
Jesus Christ.
$27 million that he frauded people out of, and he's only going to jail for 20 fucking years.
Probably
Non-violent
less.
White
crime.
collar, man.
Probably
No,
way less.
violent
Probably way
crime.
less than that.
Oh, he's
too.
probably going to do 10 and get out for good behavior after he gets raped like 15 times. It's
Fucking
cool.
guy.
He'll be alright.
Part of the lesson.
What else we got?
Oh.
Tate, you ain't talked in a while.
Been observing.
Tate's been thinking
Been
about
observing.
Fortnite.
But about
Yeah.
the Tory Lanez shit, Mercury's murdered that motherfucker.
But okay, can we go? Can you
dude.
tell us what exactly
Dude.
what's going on with the Tory Lanez? He's
So Tory
Big
Lanez
Mercury's
is
fan right
saying
here.
I know.
he's the best rapper alive right now. Who says that other than somebody
Wayne.
like him or MGK wanting fucking clout?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so he did that, and he's trying to go with the whole Dreamville team, which is J. Cole's record label, JID, Earth Gang Boys, shit like that.
J.
And
Cole
they're
just
all
came out with
fucking
songs
dope.
really
You got
good.
Boz, because I think J. Cole's like one of the greatest right now, for real.
You just dropped Middle Child.
This is an Amber.
He reminds me a lot of
Definitely.
myself, just like depth-wise in music. Like I try to be like J. Cole kind of,
Mhm.
or a Kendrick Lamar. But now you have Mercury's going, oh, this dude's putting this shit out and attacking Dreamville. Hold up, I don't even think you're the best rapper in Canada, and you're saying you're the best rapper in the whole world? Fuck you. And he went off last night. I was sitting there on Facebook scrolling or whatever, like I do sometimes, and I see Merck's post saying, just now. He just now posted, I was like the fifth comment. He's like, are y'all sleeping? You want me to put out a new track? And we're like, yep. I even commented, I was like, hell yeah. And I went like, oh face or whatever. And not 30 minutes later, he puts out a track dissing Tory Lanez called Story Lanes. And this is after Story Lanes and Don Q went at it back and forth that day. But it took like 3 days for Tory to go at Don Q, and Don Q rebutted hours later. Like, yeah, it's just fucking hip hop.
Well, and hip hop,
it's fucking entertaining.
If
and
you aren't,
when you're actually listening to the lyrics and the bars and shit, it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, who won this round?
if
type
you don't
shit.
pay attention to like hip hop at
I love
all, and like the battles and the beefs that go back and forth, this has literally like, for me, I've always loved hip hop beef because motherfuckers keep each other on point because of it, and that's always bettered what hip hop is. So like, even if you go back to the Tupac and Biggie things, like I don't necessarily think that the Tupac, I believe it was real, but I think it was put out a lot bigger than it actually was because those motherfuckers sold so many records from that hip hop beef that I think
Especially retired
physical records, yeah.
And they just disappeared.
Well, no. I don't think not necessarily that, but I think like at the time, like they because I really think that Tupac thought that Diddy put the hit out on him. And if you don't know what we're talking about, like, Tupac got robbed and shot.
That's the only thing I hate about it is I hope this beef nowadays doesn't result in fucking violence.
Yes. Well,
leave it in the fucking lyrics.
But even then, like, you had 50 Cent and Ja Rule who went at it, and somebody got stabbed from it at the BET Awards or something like that.
I love 50 Cent and Mayweather.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
my god. That is the best beef of all fucking time.
But the
50 Cent's
worst,
one of the biggest trolls ever.
but he is.
my
But the
God.
worst part of it is Floyd Mayweather is so fucking illiterate. It kills me
Yeah, you can't read.
because that dude cannot fucking read anything. So anytime he tries to talk shit, it's just like,
God, that beef is so
Just
fucking
so-
incredible. Where he's like, I'll give you $50 million if you can read a book without stuttering. And he's like, I'll give you $10 million if you can get one of your kids to tell you I love you.
And then you have 50 Cent buying out Ja Rule concerts still today.
Yep.
The
Oh,
front,
dude.
like 3 rows so that people can't be up front.
So they can't be up front.
Control.
Just to do it. And that shit was what was he bought like 150? No,
Like $3
he dead ass
grand,
bought
$5 grand.
150 fucking tickets for a Ja Rule concert on his comeback tour, where he was just doing because he's broke because he got fucked on Firefest.
Yep.
So he bought out the first 150 tickets in the front because he's fucking rich. He doesn't give a shit.
Oh, man.
I thought
Like
50 Cent basically went bankrupt.
no, he
No.
bought Vitamin Water. He had a huge stake in Vitamin Water, and when they sold it, he made like $50 million on the deal.
He made tons of money.
And now he's involved in Bellator.
Yep.
I still drink that shit, even though I'm not much of a fan of 50. I love his music from back in the day with M, but
Oh, he cracks my ass
That-
up.
Get
What was-
Rich or Die Trying record is so epic. But as far as being a person, fuck that dude.
But I mean, isn't that what most
He's a
people are?
shitty guy.
Like, Kanye's the same exact
He's
way.
a
Like,
troll.
I love a bunch of fucking Kanye's music, but that guy is fucking out of it.
I would have
Like-
to say, he is so fucked up, I can't appreciate anything about him. I just
He
can't.
fucked up
It's-
Daft Punk.
Uh,
He straight up fucked up Daft Punk.
Tate's chiming in now. What's up, Dad?
That's what it took was to bring Kanye into the shit. No, but for real, like Kanye, before he started his like talk, like, and I swear to God, it's a Kardashian curse, dude. They ruin every fucking man in their life.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Jenner turned into a girl.
Yeah.
Kanye fucking turned into Trump Jr. You got Lamar
I don't think
Odom.
slavery was real.
Lamar Odom turned
did
into
he
a
say that?
fucking crackhead.
Really? You don't know that?
Oh,
He
dude,
said that?
Yeah.
He said it.
Yeah, he did.
He's still.
Yeah,
oh
he fucking.
man, he's.
And then right after doing that, accepted a "Make America
The
Great Again."
motherfucker was in the White House losing his shit.
He said he doesn't think slavery was
Was real.
He thinks it was chosen.
Yes, those are dead serious.
I do want to say, too, if you haven't checked it out, I think it's on Netflix. Killer Mike's.
Oh, I heard about this. It's
Uh,
fucking supposed to be really
Trigger
phenomenal.
warning.
Yeah.
Trigger warning.
Which Killer Mike is one of the dope dudes. If you,
He didn't break through the music industry until he was 41.
but a big
Wow.
thing about Killer Mike is he started to make real big political moves.
Run the Jewels.
With Run the Jewels, but he made a lot of headway because he's from Miami. He's somewhere in Florida, and he was with like Bernie Sanders doing interviews with him during the last, and that's where he made the big thing was because he's a very outspoken man.
He was on Rogan last week. He's fucking brilliant.
Oh, dude, he is very,
Very articulate.
very intelligent, very articulate about everything that he talks
And-
about, and he knows what Cash.
Very don't sell your community, reinvest in your community type atmosphere
He
or mindset.
Cash Hollister reminds me a lot of Killer Mike,
Hmm.
just because of how he puts everything into
I
back.
haven't really met Cash.
You haven't? Oh
No.
man, I fucking love that dude. He always has put on for Salina, and it's really cool for what he tries to do, especially in the music scene here. How it was just dead. And he's the one who threw the move the crowds at the Blue Goat when it was the Blue Goat. And he did the
I
Salina
hit him
Cypher.
up, but my shit's too like dirty. I think for what he puts on.
Oh,
He's
he gets
Christian rap, right?
He gets no shit.
Really?
Dude, he did. Did you never seen the Salina Cipher?
Yeah, but I didn't know he put it on.
Yeah, he's the one who put that whole thing together. Like, you had to realize, Cash is a hip hop head. Like, that guy just loves music, and music is him. Like, and anything that he can do to push music in Salina and the music scene, he's in there. Because he's on, like, the Salina Arts and Humanities board.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, dude, Cash is that dude. I love that guy. He fucking, every time I see him.
I just don't know about him, right? I ain't met him yet, so I look forward to it.
Well, you know, it's John Curtis's older brother, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
See our new governor? Or not governor. New mayor?
Oh, mayor?
Yeah.
Trent Davis.
Trent Davis, dude.
Dr. Davis.
Trent's
Yes.
dad.
He's badass.
Oh, have you ever met
He's
him?
always been
Yeah.
badass.
He's cool as fuck.
He's cool as fuck.
I used to hang out with his boy.
Trent D, every time he comes back to town, we kick it. That's my dude, Trent Jr.
So Teresa, my wife, worked with Davis.
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot. And I met him a couple times. I'm like, this guy's cool as shit, dude.
Grey Goose.
I got
He
him.
likes Grey Goose.
Him and I got into it like a little bit over a fucking girl in high school, which I don't give a fuck about now. We were really good friends for a while. Him, me, James Bowden,
Jigga
that crew,
James.
dude.
Jigga James.
We were tight, and then fucking girl just got in the middle, and it's like,
Jigga James
Yeah.
Bowden.
and he's a bad fucking ass, dude. He lives in like Panama.
No.
He was living in Panama.
He works at what is that farming thing that's really big right now? But they did the hops for the beer at Blue Sky. It's the
Are you talking
the IPA.
Are you talking the crankcase?
Crankcase? Yeah,
You're talking the
whatever it's called. And he's the one who helped put on that whole chef thing downtown with all the cooks, like the big chefs here in town.
Really?
Jigga James is the one that put that on. And Trent lives in
Kansas Land Institute.
Kansas Land Institute,
Yeah.
yeah. But Trent lives in St. Louis right now.
Really?
I can't vouch for it, but I have a feeling he's going to move back to Arizona. I love Trent.
But Dr.
Every time
Davis
Trent comes to town, I fucking kick it with Trent.
Got a lot of fun, man. We laughed
That's my
our asses
dude.
off.
That is my dude.
Dr. Davis, man, he's the one who
He's
got all the
illest.
bike lanes put in around town.
Yeah.
I'm glad
fan.
I'm glad they liked him.
Oh, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
And you know how that whole thing started, right?
No.
So
It just made sense to me.
well, no. So a couple years ago, Salina, Kansas got offered, and I don't quote me on this because I've obviously been drinking, and I could be very wrong about this. But they were given a grant, the opportunity to have a grant to give women a whatever the unit is that they get inside. So
AED?
the AED, yeah. So.
Oh, and they're arguing about how it was a form of abortion.
So,
That
but
fucking Afghani explosive.
but there were
IED.
there was either So there were 4 or 5 guys that were on the commission, and one guy was like, "No, I don't believe in that. I just like," and he had nothing to base his opinion off of, other than he was a white man
Just against it.
who was against it.
Yeah,
Because
he was talking about it was a form of abortion.
yeah, because
Yeah.
It was against his religion. And there was literally like, and they had it. So Dr. Davis went in there, and this is when it all started. And he walked in and he said, for a man to not take any form of education on himself or from somebody else, not listen to it and understand what the possibilities are, because by not accepting that money, you are literally fucking people over who could use it. Because what's the last thing that you want? 30 other kids that get popped out because you didn't take that money? And guess who's spending the money on that in the end? It's us with our taxes, because we're paying for the child support or whatever it is that has to, And so he was like, for you to say that you're just going to say no, and you base that off of no facts, no data, nothing of the point that would even make it relevant, which you of yourself on the city commission should be taking into account, that's wrong.
That's the typical problem with 95% of politics.
Oh yeah,
And
it's a good old
I
boys
may be
network.
spitballing that number, but it's fucking pretty
But it is.
accurate. People are just, I'm set in my ways because my dad taught me this way,
Well,
instead of knowing
That's
facts
Kansas.
Well, I was
I'm
gonna
red
say-
because my dad was red, and
Yeah.
my
Yep.
dad was red,
instead
my
of
dad was
knowing
red.
what the fuck's going on and having a legit opinion about shit.
well, and I
Fuck that.
legit
Help
like
the people.
that's why I like who we've picked as far as commissioners now, with Salina especially, and I like the way that we're going because how
I've been
long
thinking about taking off of work at 3:30 on Mondays to go to the fucking
and going
city
just to
meetings.
listen, yeah.
You've mentioned running for politics.
Dude,
I'd be the first
I have
trying
an
to
open
vote.
mind for shit, and I know what people want.
Well, that's the
What
biggest
is the
thing.
difference in the new generation? That's something that a lot of people don't take into account.
Well, especially with and
People are setting fucking
and not
Little
to-
House on the Prairie views and shit.
oh
still.
yeah. Well,
Fuck
and,
them old cats.
and you get to a certain
Them
point
old
where
cats.
it's that good old boys network where it's like, well, I know him, I can vouch for him, and I don't know if you what's the Rock movie where he becomes a he gets the shit kicked out of him, Walk Tall, and I was just
Ooh, that's
watching
an
this.
awesome
Sheriff.
movie.
Yeah, the
Was
sheriff.
it
And I was
2x4?
just
That's a
watching
4x4, boy.
I was just
That ain't
watching
no
this
fucking
the other
He
day.
2x4.
fucking grips the whole thing.
No, and I thought about this the way because when he becomes the sheriff, he walks in and the guy, and it was that good old boys network. He
Is
walks
that the
up
one
and he
with
goes,
Stifler?
"Yes," or not Stifler,
No,
but
it's not.
Johnny
what's
Knoxville.
Johnny Knoxville? Yeah,
Yeah, Johnny.
but
Which,
he walks up.
he's in Polar. Watch that fucking movie. It just came out on Netflix. Watch that fucking movie.
But he literally this is how I feel about the good old boys,
It's a rundown.
the good old boys network. Representatives should represent the population and their needs, not the other way around. Exactly.
Yes.
But this is what I'm saying. Like that was like the
Majority
perfect,
rules, motherfucker. Not
It was the perfect concept of the old way versus breaking in the new with Walking Tall, because he gets elected as the sheriff,
And he says, I vouch for all these guys.
and he says, "I vouch for all these guys."
And he's
And
like,
he
"You're
was a
all fired."
corrupt ass motherfucker who had already,
They're all good men.
yeah, they're all good men. And he says, "I vouch for him." And he goes, "All right, you vouch for him, you're all fired." And that's exactly what it should be like, because. And I'm not saying that everybody that's on the city commission is bad, because I don't know
if
those
your
people.
views are shit, get the fuck out.
But like, if you are not there to represent the people, if you're
you
there
let-
to represent how you feel,
Yeah.
then that is not your job. Your job is not to help how you feel.
Yep.
It's how you think the people feel. And you as an elected official should understand what the people are telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why politics kill me.
Half the fucking problem is they're in that position, but they don't even.
And all they want to do is be
relate.
reelected to that position.
Because they haven't ever been in the position of a normal motherfucker that's been raised or brought up in this society.
My brother, it looks like he smells like my left big toe.
Ew.
There's a big argument because of
If
South
you ain't
America.
been raised how we
and-
were raised and what we've been about or how we've lived, how the fuck are you in a position to tell us
Well, yeah.
how
Very
our
much so.
society
And that's
should
why
be
it
ran?
kills me with these people who are 75 years old
You got to put people
that
in
have
there
been
that have
elected
been
for
through-
their 25th
that don't know how
year.
to log into their own fucking email and forget their own
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
passwords.
Well,
Yes.
what's his name? Who's finally fucking
Let me tell you
retiring as a
how
senator?
cybersecurity works.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the guy who's finally retiring as a senator from Pat Roberts. How the fuck did that guy keep getting it?
40 years.
40
Over
years.
for over.
That guy has missed 3/4 of his fucking meetings that he's supposed to be at, and we kept voting him in.
I think a lot of that has to do with our parents or
Oh, it's definitely
relatives and shit being content with
status quo.
complacency
Status quo.
and dying rather than living and having a bright future and shit.
You don't see yourself as somebody poor. You see yourself as temporarily embarrassed as a millionaire.
Well,
That is exactly Kansas.
well, let me put it this
I
way.
can make
Kansas.
20
Let
me
grand
put it
a
this
year
way.
and still be thinking I'm gonna do better tomorrow.
Get it out of the goddamn
Absolutely.
camera.
But here's
And
the
these
thing.
motherfuckers are making how much money, and they're degrading our
Hey,
society.
I do this farm and I bring in $120K a year,
Everybody
but I'm white collar. Or
knew.
blue collar. I'm a blue collar worker.
Everybody knew that
Fuck
Sam
your
Brownback
collar.
was running our government into the fucking ground. and he was about to
and
lose.
fucking hated him.
And hated him. He was about to lose, and then he ran a smear ad against what's his name
Davis.
about how he was at a strip club in Coffeyville once when there was a meth bust, and all of a sudden it was like everybody was like, "Oh my God, he was a meth dealer. We can't hire this guy
You are
in here."
spread so far out, and your hair is curly.
Oh,
you look
dude.
like a clown.
And all of a sudden it was like, we have to vote Brown back in. He was shit, but this guy's more shittier.
You're fucking our schools. You're fucking every one of our
Everybody
systems.
Dave
sucks.
said-
Crazy.
The problem is special interest groups and lobbying. Dude, it's the same thing with lenders giving 18-year-olds $80,000 loans. Wouldn't loan them $1K for a small business startup.
You are absolutely correct.
Fucking true.
You can get many lines of credit. In order
Why
to get school
reelected
funding.
a senator that was dead?
Do you know why you can get school funding though? It's guaranteed by the government.
Dude.
That's why. Which is shitty.
I'm optimistic. I think every day that passes, we're getting closer to our age
full
group,
revolution.
our age group taking over and doing the shit that's right.
I completely agree. So he was talking about lobbyists.
But it's only going to take us.
I hope our
actually-
entire age group can't take
There is
control.
no strip club in Hawaii.
Our entire age group would fuck this country up.
Wait, is he talking about Pat Roberts? My little brother fucking can't stand Pat Roberts. Hawaii reelected a senator that was dead, and that's the problem.
Where are you going to take?
Our age group is full of social justice warriors that have no fucking experience, or have never worked a real job in their life, don't know what having dirt under their fucking fingernails actually feels like. It feels
Our
like
age group or younger than us?
either or, both.
Have you ever had a real job?
Yeah, I've been covered head to toe in shit. Literally, cow shit, head to toe.
But that's what I'm saying. If you say that, how you can say that about us?
Oh, just some of the civil justice warriors that are out there.
No, and I don't
Oh,
disagree with you.
God, they drive me so insane.
But them motherfuckers are in a whole different thing. They're
And I
on Twitter
agree with it.
typing instead of working.
But
We've worked.
But there's also, I don't know if my girlfriend's still on here, but there's a movie, and I cannot think of what it is, but it's a redhead actress, and she plays a lobbyist. And the whole premise of the movie is, and this is what kills me about lobbyists in politics, because they do play such a huge role in it. And she joins the opposition of a bill. And she literally joins the opposition of the bill just to show that she can fuck them over, because that's how good she is.
To me, that depends on what you're doing. If you're just gonna go hold a fucking sign, you ain't doing shit.
Oh, no.
You need to get up in them meetings and actually
and say
lobby or speak your mind on what you believe, and actually respect the arguments toward
Maybe
what
not
you're
now,
pushing to
Cordell,
believe.
but back in the day there could have been.
You know, don't just go,
Sensations?
"This is the right way. I'm holding a sign." Fuck you. Actually,
Cordell,
talk
why are
to
you still up?
people
Isn't it
and
past your
see-
bedtime? It's like 10
find a
o'clock
common
there.
ground
Gotta-
or a
discourse
solution.
has to be involved. Absolutely.
Look for a fucking solution. Don't just say, "This is me." People are dumb as fuck, man.
The most of what I see out of this generation is that my opinion is right, yours is wrong, and I'm going to
this
hold
is
you
why.
hostage
Yeah.
unless you agree with me.
I'm totally middle ground with everything. Talk to me about something, and
Chance.
let's work through it. Let's work through whatever the fuck your belief is, and find a common ground.
Give that shit a scroll real quick.
Oh shit, what
What's
was
going on
this?
right there?
Oh, you can't tell what time people are logged in? Oh, James is on here.
I would have known about a strip club. There's
Oh,
no strip
man.
club in Coffeyville.
Oh, Cordell went to college there.
The hiccups now. Oh man, like the old drunk guy on the cartoons.
We're at 8:53. There.
I'm just very open to suggestion.
Well, and I think that's the best part. Like, that's the key about
and
politics.
would never think that my way is the way. I would listen because that's what I'm best at, is fucking listening to people and then analyzing truths. Like, what the fuck?
But that's
Why would you not do that?
that's the big thing. Is like people stopped looking out for the betterment of the world.
People are greedy as fuck.
Yeah, because it turned into instead of being about helping people, it turned into, oh, well, if I get reelected, I'll never have to work again in my life. And this is the easiest job I've ever had.
Fuck that.
That was the argument for lifelong
judges.
Lifelong judges, too, is, hey, they won't accept corruption and bribery if they are lifelong and they've always got a guaranteed
Hey,
job.
Dusty. Hey, Bryce.
It wasn't too long ago where I was making like 13 grand a year.
Hi, Shauna. All my
I've
family's
been through
on.
that shit, and I could do it again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
Hey, Shauna, are you ready for Luke Combs next week?
Luke Combs?
Luke Combs.
That's a country dude, right?
That's a country dude. He is fucking badass. He is a big, hefty motherfucker, and that guy has a voice like an angel. That's
My voice minus the
That's the
hiccups
guy I
is like
sang
an
at
angel.
karaoke.
I thought that was Jack Black.
Let's go! I like how like 3/4 of the comments now are my family.
Welcome.
Shauna is the one that I went to the game with.
Now let the welcomes have logged in.
Did you have Frozen Tears too, Shauna?
Stop streaming. No.
And it's great to see you guys this week. Oh, man.
Frozen Tears.
Frozen Tears. They were great tears.
That's a good song or like album title. Frozen Tears. That'd be a good Wham title.
It
Wham?
would be a Wham title, actually. That's hilarious. That is funny that
Frozen
you would say that,
Tears.
because it would be.
Didn't he
Last
die?
Christmas.
I thought he died
George
like
Mi-
a year ago.
He did. George Michael's dead.
Oh.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart.
Wait, did they do that as a song?
Very next day, you gave it away. Gave
Oh
it
my
away. Dude,
Damn.
love George Michael. He's my boy.
Tate, we need to
He
go
did
do
that as a
karaoke.
song?
We would be badass
We would be
karaoke.
badass
together.
karaoke. You can make up for Cordell since he lives in fucking Florida.
You can webcam in.
Like,
Webcam in.
I can't do it sober. Like, I have to be.
Oh no, there's
deep.
no way you do
Deep
karaoke
fucking bears
sober.
it.
But then, break
Oh,
out the
man.
Wham, and we
Thursdays?
will fucking. We will.
That's why I love Thursday night.
This tells me a secret about your drunk
Wait,
self.
what's
Tate.
the what's the name
Your
of that
drunk
song?
self,
Is that
Tate.
what is that? What's the name of that song?
Uh,
Oh, now I gotta look it up.
I have no idea.
It's like Silent Whisper or something.
the fact that he knows.
Oh, I love George Michael.
So I always laugh
Always have.
because, like the first time my girlfriend
Jitterbug.
like really hung out with me,
Jitterbug.
we were going
No, we're gonna know
to
that
a
is
Day to
fucking,
Remember concert
God,
in
what's
Wichita,
what's the
and
show?
me and my sister Shauna, we are the middle children. Like we have the closest bond. Love my little brother Cordell. Sorry, but we have the like closest bond because we always say middle children unite. Yeah. And so her and I have always sung together, and like I had Shauna come down to
So
Parsons,
Cordell's younger than
the
Shauna?
youngest brother.
No
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
I thought she was probably the youngest.
Big ass some bitch.
And then your
Yeah.
older sister Amber.
Amber, yes.
Yeah,
So
just
it's
almost
Amber, me,
Christmas.
Shauna, Cordell. But Cordell was always the baby because when we were in high school, he was in like 6th grade. So,
Okay.
you know, he was never like, I love him to death, but at that time, like, he's not the person who you would like hang out with. So the older he got, the more I got into his ass because he was fucking around in school. And
Oh, Bennett?
I'll pay that ass.
there was literally one night where I was
No, I don't want to know the rest of the
so deep.
story.
no
There was literally
because he
one
was
night.
fucking around. Like my little brother was one of the most gifted athletes I've ever met in my life. He is 6'3", like
Fucking
285 pounds, and he started at Coffeyville Community College, and he was on the team where, if you've ever seen Last Chance U, that East whatever Mississippi Community College, they were going, and it was them and Butler or them in Coffeyville.
Coffeyville is predominantly black, right?
I mean, it's a football team. They're always predominantly. I'm gonna be honest.
A lot of
They're
black
always
folks up in that.
predominantly.
But wasn't that
black.
shit on like Last Hit or something? Like,
Last Chance U, yeah.
yeah.
Well, and Independence is there now, but Cordell started that fucking football, that offensive line, and he was the only one not to go D1.
Damn.
And he got the best offensive lineman on that team, and every single other one of them went D1. He went D2. Hated his fucking coach, so it didn't work out. But he will always be literally like I've seen this dude jump boxes that I would never be able to, and he's 285 pounds, 6'3", like just fucking athletic. He had a predominantly black college come recruit him because his name was Cordell. They were thinking Cordell Stewart. We were thinking Cordell Walker, Texas Ranger. But it's like it's dead ass. Like that's exactly what happened. They came and they were like, "Ooh, we're so interested in you." Apparently, they'd never watched his footage, and they were recruiting him. They were there to see him because his name was Cordell Welcome, and they were like, "Oh yeah, dude, Cordell, welcome." And you got the hiccups like a
crazy fucking
motherfucker.
hiccups. I'm trying to psych myself. I can't do it.
But it was hilarious, and he could have got us.
It'll work again.
Hello, we're back.
I don't know if we're back again.
Well, if it
Welcome,
says live
welcome
video.
to the guys and welcome.
Hey, we're back.
Whoa, did it work?
We got
It
3
works.
viewers.
Oh shit! Sorry guys.
4. I don't know what happened.
Sorry,
I blacked out for a minute.
Apparently,
Chris is drunker than I am.
Elbow.
We only have 30
Chris
seconds
Elbow
left
hit
in
the
the
fucking
stream
button.
because it's literally 9 o'clock.
Who's
Holy
still on
shit,
with
it
us?
did work.
Fuck you, Tate. Fuck your shit.
If you're on, hit the button.
There it is.
Amber, my other sister's on. The whole
This
welcome
is
crew's
actually-
on.
It worked without a different fucking stream key? That's weird.
Yeah. Look, so that's me. That's
It
my,
just paused
that's-
it. Now it's resumed.
Oh, it's just us.
So if you're not friends
No.
with
Why
me,
do you have 128 friends? You don't even know 128 people.
So who can I?
Oh, block.
Oh, I got 5 on mine. Who else is on here? Sarah, Amber, you still on here?
There's a thumbs up right
so if you're
there.
not friends with me,
You can't see
add
you.
me because otherwise we can't see who the fuck's here when you're here.
Is it just you, or is it a like to Bruce Bros and
Fuck you,
BS?
It's
Tate.
just
I mean, the
me
couch
for some
corner.
reason.
Huh.
That's where Facebook's
You
failing.
ate it? You ate it,
I'm
didn't
only
you?
friends with you and
Nasty
Sarah
fucker.
right now.
Ah,
So why
your
don't you
shitty
shoot?
nuts.
And see, that sucks because you can't see who's actually on it.
You don't
Exactly.
eat my shitty
Earlier
nuts.
we had 12 or 14 and I could see 4.
Oh, I had 6 on mine.
Yeah.
I'd like
Welcome's more popular than me.
I'd like
I know
12.
it. I've
12
always
on
known
mine.
it. And I'm okay with it.
Jason
I'm
at
okay
0.
with it.
Nobody likes him.
I will not have any problems with.
It also says 1 share when I shared literally probably 15 fucking times tonight.
I also shared.
We done, fellas?
We're done.
Do a cheers.
All right. Oh, I need a beer so I can cheers.
Just empty it. There's a little bit left in there.
Thank you all for watching. We all love you.
Hey, you guys all
Have a
had
great
a
night.
Jason cheer. Oh, god damn it.
Oh, yeah. Look at that color.
Stop.
I can't. I